Demolition Ranch could have been over before it ever started if that truck would have broke down on the way.
This is sucking Matt's podcast now.
4 guys off demo.
We're all gonna get canceled, and Matt's gonna have to come out of retirement like Fat Thor and save all of us.
To the New York Times, the Demolition is a cult.
That's the note he's going to go out on.
Yeah!
Say hi to Eli. He's racially ambiguous. And Brandon, his hair is fucking fabulous. And Donut, a dark joke disposition. And there's a fat electrician. Welcome to Unsubscribe.
Hey everyone, we just wanted to say a giant thank you for 200 episodes.
I know I haven't been there for all 200 episodes, but I'm genuinely privileged to have been here as long as I have. And frankly, I'm only here just to make sure that Eli doesn't cry this time. Don't do it.
Get back in there, Tia.
It has been a privilege to be able to experience 200 episodes with y'all and to see where this started and where it is today. We're just truly blessed to have all you rallying behind us to make this possible, from the live shows to each week and then the thousands of DMs that we get daily. Thank you for everything you guys have provided for us, and we are so humbled and appreciative of it.
When my best friend started this podcast out of Cody's kitchen, I never would have imagined it would have gotten here. And I'm just, like I said, privileged to be a part of it. And I'm so fucking thankful for all of you. And I'm looking forward to where it goes in the future.
Thank you all from the bottom of our hearts. Keep doing amazing things. Enjoy this episode. It was a blast to have Matt on for one more time. And
It's sad to know that we're going to shoot him after this is done.
it's the hard part. That's why we're sad.
It's like putting down the family dog, but you know what? Somebody's going to do it. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the episode.
Wait, you just popped yours? Did you want to wait?
I got another one. I'm gonna drink them all. It's fine.
Oh, that's very true. Okay, ready?
Oh, we'll pop it first, I guess.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
It's demo's last day. I'm going hard as fuck.
We doing the damn thing? Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unsubscribe podcast. I'm joined today by Eli Doubletap, Fat Electrician, Demolition Ranch himself, Brandon Herrera, and myself, Donut Operator. Thank you so much for being here.
Rip headphones users.
Fuck up.
Also, this is episode 200.
This is episode 200?
Is this really?
Fuck yeah.
Crazy.
Wait,
Plan that for you.
$199?
That's crazy.
199 is this week?
Wait, Saturdays?
Yes.
This.
And then this one's going to be next week for 200.
This is 200?
Thanks, guys.
I mean,
I'm
we get to
excited.
decide. Do we want to push this 199 or 200?
200.
This is 200. Fuck
This
it.
is 200.
200.
This feels like 200 energy right now.
Boom!
Yeah.
I fucking like it. And you're gonna get
go.
drunk. You're already drunk.
I'm already drunk. I sipped this.
No, we're just really happy to have Demolition Ranch here today because, as you all know, he just announced his departure from YouTube.
Yeah, and that means this is for sure my last unsubscribed podcast ever.
We'll see.
That you know
It's
of.
Allegedly.
Definitely the last.
It might be the last
It's
one
the
you
last one he
agreed to.
remembers.
I get drugged. I'm just like,
This weekend at Burley, but
Nico and the Demolition Ranch.
We're in a puppeteer, man.
sunglasses go. Yeah.
I retired from YouTube and I like killing kittens. It's like he's still here.
Dude, this is a sad one for me.
I know you got. I think for everyone.
I mean, for everyone, because you've helped all of us so much, man, with your platform, and we absolutely love you for everything you've done for our community.
That's awesome to hear, and I've had a lot of people reaching out with similar sentiments, and it's weird. It is like something we just kind of decided to do recently, and it's very scary and sad and weird, but like overall I'm pretty excited about it. I'm pretty excited about moving to the next phase and not being worried about the next video anymore and that kind of thing.
Numbers or anything.
Yeah, numbers. I'm just not gonna care.
And the way you said it, where you're like, man, I just really want to figure out who I am without YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, that I think that kind of hit all of us a little hard. Where it's like, fuck, man, I don't even know.
It's weird because YouTube was me for like 15 years. Like
Almost half
So
of
you
your
like?
life.
Are you gonna get into history or smoking meat? Those are your two options.
I just actually started smoking meat, so it's probably gonna be that.
Oh, damn it. I
I'm
lost
not-
another one.
I'm gonna get in that phase.
Smoking some meat.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Damn
I
it,
have no
it's
idea.
true.
I met a guy this morning. He just wanted to have coffee and like sit down. He's a guy that retired. He said 3 years ago he retired, so he saw my video and he's like, it's kind of an acquaintance I know, and he sent me a text and he's like, man, I'm proud of you. And just, if you want, I'd love to go sit with you and have coffee. So I went and had coffee with him, and he was kind of asking what my plan was, and I was like, I don't have a plan. Like I'm just gonna kind of sit around and see what happens. And he was like, that's perfect. He's like, that's what you need to do. A plan will come to you. Stuff to do will come to you. Work will come to you. And you'll figure it out. Don't try to figure it out before it happens.
Oh my God, we're all gonna get canceled, and Matt's gonna have to come out of retirement like Fat Thor and save all of us. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna retire for a while until you guys need me again.
like Danny McPhee.
His videos is like, I don't associate with them at all. Came out of retirement to hate on us.
Yeah, whenever y'all are down, I'm just gonna come out of retirement to kick you.
Yeah, those guys suck. He comes out of retirement on the side of YouTube.
Damn.
Now that they all got canceled, I'm back, bitches. Let's go.
No, seriously, dude. Like, a lot of us took we looked up to you. We don't anymore.
Yeah, acknowledge.
But no, like we all.
Fuck you.
Yeah, Fat Thor. A lot of our career was just looking up to you and just looking at what you did and just going off the basis of what you were doing in your videos.
Yeah. I mean, I did that to a bunch of other channels too. Like I had so many idols on YouTube because I love YouTube. I think it's so cool. I loved the whole process of like growing the channel. And there were so many channels that I like aspired to be like. And so I kind of modeled little parts of my videos like them. And so, yeah, it's cool that I think I've done that for a lot of people too. Like,
because we all had like the FPS Russias and stuff like that when we first started.
Yep.
And I mean, it's crazy. I think we talked about it on the podcast the other day, but just like the fact that FPS Russia at one point was like a top 7 or 8 YouTube channel on YouTube, period.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, the closest thing we have to that now is you.
Yeah.
And it's a cool end of a chapter though. I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks.
It's awesome.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for your vlog channel specifically, you had like Atwood. That's someone you looked up to.
Yeah,
to
for
do
sure.
that.
Yeah, he was one for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I looked up to you for my vlog channel.
Yep.
And you helped me out so much, man. Sorry, this is Sucking Matt's Dick podcast now.
We got the title.
No, that's
of the
the
episode.
Pepperbox version.
4 guys suck off demo.
We'll get some views. And
We get the couch photo.
Yeah. But it's all of us. Just demo standing behind us.
8 feet tall.
We couldn't do a thing.
It's just a shadow of a dick, and it's just like the Willem Dafoe.
Black and white. What was one of the determining factors? Like 2024, did you have a feeling, hey, leading up to this, I'm probably going to retire next year?
No, not really. We kind of figured it'd be eventually. There's like, I don't know. It's like I accomplished all the goals that I ever wanted to accomplish, and then kept going for 5 years after that. It's like, so it's just kind of like, why am I still doing this? But really, recently, it's kind of hit us that like our kids are all getting very old, and I'm realizing they're going to leave soon, and I'm just like, this is weird. And we have made all the money I need to make from YouTube. Like we don't need more money. We don't need more.
Hundreds of dollars.
I've made hundreds. My bank account has hundreds of dollars.
Hundreds of dollars.
I don't need more fame, So I was just like, I'm just gonna like take a break, and I'm not saying it's impossible that I won't come back in 2, 3, 4 years.
In a podcast, let's say with your friends,
Yeah,
maybe.
it could happen. It's possible. Right now, I think it's not. I think I'm like maybe done forever. But I just decided, I'm just gonna cold turkey quit in a couple months, like wind everything down, and then just stop. Which actually is weird that we said a couple months, and then we looked at it and was like, oh, that ends right on April 1st. No one's ever gonna believe us that we're actually quitting.
Really funny.
I was like, we said that at the end of this month. We're like, 2 months. It's like, shit, that's April 1st.
We just had a business convo about anything happening on April 1st.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
the worst
I'm
thing.
going to make my last video on April 1st, and people are going to be like,
actually really good.
You're going to be like, wait a minute.
Or reverse psychology it. Drop a video on April 1st saying, I'm
staying.
still doing YouTube.
That's
and
what
then
I
never
said.
upload again.
That's what I said.
That would be
I
epic.
changed my mind, guys.
I'm back, baby.
We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to take a 1 week break. We'll be back, and then just never come back. And people are like, I don't understand what's happening.
The meme of the kid waiting next to the door waiting to prank my dad when he comes home. Day 379.
That's how it ends. Guys, I'll be right back. I gotta go get some milk. Walker will never return.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
Just gonna go down to the gas station, get some scratchers. I'll be back in 5.
My gun,
That's how it should end.
my gun tube, Dad, never showed back up.
He went to get some cigs.
So what was was there any determining factor, or was it just waking up one day and be like, yo, I just want to, you know what? I'm tired.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, I would say it's been a couple years where I've like been slowing down, you know, and being like, I'm not as driven to do this anymore as I used to be. But yeah, as far as announcing it, no, it really was just like all of a sudden just kind of a realization that I don't really know why I'm here anymore, you know? And it's still fun.
I think they call that depression.
Yeah, I think that might be it too. Not in life in general. But like, it's still like fun for me, but I'm just not driven to do it anymore. And I want to find, I like being driven, you know, and I want to find what drives me now.
You want to be hungry.
But I think, I have to stop doing this completely to figure out what drives me now. And so it's like, it's my family. It's just wanting to also just be normal, you know, not be a social media person anymore, to not worry about what's happening on Instagram or Twitter or any of those things. I want to just like step away and just like, and maybe just detox from it for a while. And maybe I'll come back in 2 years and be like, oh, I feel refreshed, you know, but
fuck no, you won't.
But I think I'll probably be done.
that is a hellscape. I never want to go back.
Like I think I just want to be a normal guy. Yeah, it's weird. Because it's also really fun to not be normal. It's fun for companies to like send you places and you get to go do cool things, and that's so cool. It's cool to go to SHOT Show when like companies like pay your way and you get to go to a cool hotel and do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like you, I've been to SHOT Show a ton. I don't want to go anymore.
It's
Just told
It's
me.
exhausting.
I'll treat you like shit for free. If that's what you're looking for. Like,
Yeah, like the first 4 years was fun.
What a friend. That is a service I can provide.
Yeah,
I feel like you've done that before, though, like where you've kind of gotten to like into the car stuff, where you're like, all right, you know, I'm still doing the gun, but like I want to find something else, because you really do. Like, people don't understand. Like, we are so jaded to guns now.
Yeah, well, and I've been half-assing Demolition Ranch for 5 years. You know, like I feel like
Sponsors love that.
Yeah, like we still do it because it's still there's an aspect that's really fun, of course, and I do still like guns. I still like getting them. But it was hard to think of videos every single week. And so like my crew, you know, I started hiring people to help me. And like, I felt weird. Like I wasn't devoting everything to a whole video, you know? And so it's kind of weird. Like I feel like that's sort of half-assing it, even though I still had, you know, people helping. The videos were better with people helping too, but it wasn't all me anymore. So I feel like that's kind of been me sort of slipping out of Demolition Ranch for a while, where you still get a video, but you know, it's not just me alone in the woods grinding out this video. Me alone in the woods grinding.
There's a certain magic that is lost after a while that you just can't really get back.
So it's been going down for me for a while, where I'm just like, yeah, I'm not obsessed with it anymore like I was.
Your heart's not in it
8 years
anymore.
ago. Yeah, but I don't know.
Maybe you'll get. I don't know, because I totally understand where you're coming from, and like it's fucking awesome for you to just take a step back and you're like, I don't need this, and I want to watch my kids grow up.
Yep.
I think that's commendable, but I also know how guys like us are wired, and I'm wondering if you're going to get bored.
I am worried about that. My wife is worried about that. She's like, what are you going to do? Like, you're going to need that, you know, release. You need that creative outlet. And
been working 18 hours a day for 15 years.
Yeah,
You think you're
weird.
just going to shut it off for an extended period of
like I'm
time?
going to learn how to knit or something. I don't know.
Demolition knitting.
Can I just shit on people real quick?
Sure.
On your behalf.
Sure.
People who say he doesn't add to the Second Amendment community, you're retarded. You're absolutely retarded.
I'm here for this.
He made guns fun for everyone.
Get him,
He
Cody.
made the Second Amendment fun. And to say he's never contributed to the 2A community, you're retarded. You're a dumb piece of shit.
It's not only that, it's like he made it approachable to a degree that,
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
no offense, Brandon, but none of the rest of us do it. I mean, look at how I appear, and like you with like the jokes you make and everything else is like, oh, this dude's legitimately just like a good family man dad.
Well, I talked to Polion Noir about
Yeah.
that, because he's obviously very political about his 2A stuff. Like his videos are all political. And we were talking about the difference in what we both do. And it is something like, I'm also not a super political person. Like I don't want to
So we have
talk
Brandon
about
for.
politics. Yeah.
I mean, I look at it like combined arms.
Yeah.
Where it's like, all right, there's air support, there's artillery, there's infantrymen. It's like, well, he sucks hand to hand. Well, that's cool. I still need him to fucking call down a fired on that E coordinate.
He's
I
good
don't
at
give a shit.
Even if you're one of those guys who is like, Demolition Ranch should have done more, you know, I think that's where and it's I think a loud minority of people that think that I'm anti 2A because I didn't do more. But
Aren't they the loudest?
Even if you're the guy who says
It was a soft pitch. I knew somebody was going to take it.
I didn't even hear that. Even if you are one of the
Demo
guys,
Ranch's take on movie theaters.
cancel me. I don't care. If you think I should have done more, like, I just don't know how you couldn't step back and be like, well, it wasn't a net negative. You know, it was still a net positive. You're still making gun content. You're still making it easy access for someone who doesn't know anything about guns to not feel like, well, this guy's super political and all pro gun and he's scary. I'm just like, no, I'm going to go out and shoot these things and it's going to be funny.
We talked about it on the PSR podcast where I'm like, man, you need the demo ranches, the John Wicks, the Call of Duties. Like, that's the very beginning of the funnel. Because, like, if you just hammer fist people with the Constitution, it's like, are you correct? Yes. But, like, you need to get people, like, warm them up.
Yeah.
A little bit of foreplay before you just slap them with
it's
the
also
Constitution.
just like-
Are you saying demos the foreplay?
Yeah.
It's just
absolutely,
like,
dude.
It's
Exactly.
also being like the infrastructure with how big you were, like the things that other people were able to accomplish because you enabled them to. Like last range day, you probably don't even know this, but there was like some pretty big people from YouTube that showed up, and I was like escorting them around range day, and like within 20 minutes, they'd never shot a gun in their life, and they had shot in pistols, rifles, machine guns, and one of them was like, I feel really safe. This is not what I was expecting at all when I came here. Everybody is so nice.
Yeah.
And like everybody's being very professional and like safe with all these guns and
I'll be
stuff.
so pissed if as soon as I leave YouTube, it gets really easy for gun tubers.
You can just come back.
$200 CPMs, everything floods in. Dude was like, I'm out of retirement.
I'm back, baby.
Well, I was talking to the people that you're talking about. I was talking to them too, and I'm like, you thought we were just a bunch of dumb fucking rednecks who like go out and just like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Ah, fun.
Which
They're like,
fair.
Half true.
And we're smart rednecks that go bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
We go bang, 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 bang. This is dangerous.
Yeah, but they were like, you guys are so safe, and like this was the best time we ever had.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's what we do. And you paved the way for that. And like,
thanks.
Can't appreciate you enough, buddy.
I helped pave the way. Plenty of people helped pave the way there. It wasn't
It's
just
true.
me, but yeah.
Didn't feel that way when I was standing on your range.
Yeah, those are scary.
Hey, Brandon, you ever wake up in your bed feeling like you just fought in a war?
Yeah, why do you ask?
You ever wake up and feel like you slept in a sauna?
Yeah, I believe that's called night sweats.
Means you got a trash mattress, Brandon.
Why are we talking like Macho Man Randy Savage?
Cause today we're talking about our premier sponsorship, GHOSTBED.com. GHOSTBED mattresses are built with cooling technology, so you're not sweating through your sheets like some street bum. You stay cool, comfortable, and most importantly, you sleep through your night. I got you for 3 minutes, but I got Ghost Bed all night. You know what's longer than 3 minutes, Brandon? Any sexual experience I've ever had? Ghost Bed's 20 to 25 year warranty. And you've got a 101 night free trial to test it out. Oh yeah! And you know what, brother? They don't just sell mattresses. They have bases, pillows, sheets, the whole empanada. Just pick your mattress and grab a bundle. And right now, GHOSTBED's giving you 50% off everything. Just use unsubscribe at checkout and save 50%. Head over to ghostbed.com/unsubscribe.
That's ghostbed.com/unsubscribe.
Use code unsubscribe.
Or I'll show up under your bed and make ghost noises until you do.
Go now.
I just want to reiterate, none of this was in the script.
I don't know. We started talking like Randy Savage. But is it you have everyone here has a story with you, like your first the AR, and even then it was like you had me on the AR video to go against him.
ARs versus AR guys
Mm-hmm.
versus AK guys.
And that's how that circle started.
Did you say AR gays?
AR gays. It was a bit of a Freudian
title of the
slip.
video.
Is it AR gays versus AK guys?
Freudian slip. But I remember, a bunch of people hitting me up saying like, dude,
Demo Ranch just stole your video, and I'm driving.
It's because I stole his video.
And I had the complete opposite take. I was like, fucking just starting out in YouTube, I maybe had like, I don't know, 30,000, 40,000 subs. And I was like, fucking Demo Ranch just stole my video. That's so cool. Because like he mentioned me at the end of it and everything. I'm like, that's
I stole his
neat.
video, I gave him credit, and then I invited him out to make a video. So I felt like that was a good trade.
I think we talked about that on the podcast that we just filmed yesterday. It was kind of fun just to see the early days of Bunker and like just everything as you were still like kind of kicking off a lot of the infrastructure that you've managed to build over the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Yeah, the last 6 years have been a big change. Like,
I think Matt accidentally hooked me up the first time I was on Demolition Ranch. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not.
Hooked you up?
It was me and you and admin all competing to win your LMO.
Oh, yeah.
And like I'd never gotten a free gun before in my entire life. And he's like, all right, here's the challenges. We got to try to shoot guns while we're getting shocked. And I'm like, I got this.
Fat Electron, man.
I've been shocked plenty. I've been completely unfazed. I was like, there's no way I'm beating administrative results in shooting. It's not going to happen. Like, I'm all right, but this is his job. And then he's like, we're getting shocked while we do it. And I was like, oh, fuck, I might win this.
And you did. And man, admin wanted that gun so bad.
He did.
You didn't seem to care.
What gun was it?
It was just an LMT. It was a 308.
It was
just an
it was
LMT.
just a 308 LMT
It was
with
cool.
a badass scope on it.
But
I was like, I want this
Aaron
really bad.
wanted it so bad, and he was like actually kind of pissed at the end of the episode. He didn't get it
And then we got to do jujitsu together.
for 3 seconds.
He just wrapped you up immediately.
I was like, "What did you just put me in?"
That's going to be your title on a business card if we ever do those. Just like the Fat Electrician, head pretzel maker. Yeah.
If I could snip any 3 seconds from my entire YouTube career, it was when I went like this and me and Matt shook hands before the match and okay, go. And Matt goes, you're not even scared.
It means he's done it once or twice.
He was like, "I'm a purple belt," and I was like, "Cool. I'm not any belt." Awesome.
I don't even know what that means.
I would have been terrified at the slow hat reverse.
What did we tie? You and I tied, and so it was like
Yeah, we
whoever
had a
whoever can
tiebreaker.
win in wrestling
Yeah.
would win, and you're like, "I'm a purple belt," and I was like, "Well, let's fucking go. Here we go. I guess you're gonna win."
Jeez. The first time I came out, we shot each other with
Dude, that
with
that
less
was
than lethal
that
weapons.
was a good video.
What
Like,
year was that?
fun. Jeez.
I don't
was
know.
that 2018, 19?
We both looked like babies, so maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
You just came down to Texas, or we just moved there.
he
everyone?
hadn't moved yet.
I hadn't moved yet.
He came to visit.
He hit me up and he was like, "Hey, dude, you want to come shoot less than lethal weapons at each other?" I said, "Fuck yeah, dude. Demolition Ranch wants me to do that? Hell yeah, I'm coming."
So what was the one thing you didn't want to do again? You're like, I will not be pepper sprayed, I think was your thing.
Yeah, that was one of the things, but the bola was
bola wrap,
That
yeah.
was the worst. You shot me with the bola wrap.
It had these little like fish hooks that would like fly around you and wrap you up and then hook into your skin. And it was the company was like, "Yeah, y'all can shoot each other with this, but don't be running while you do it." And we were like, "Oh, that would have been so cool! Like shoot him and it wraps their legs up and knocks them over." But it's because if you're doing that, it would just rip your skin open.
Yeah, because it was a 38 blank 38 that projected it, right?
I don't remember, was it?
Yeah, it was like a it was
Normal
a-
bolos just have balls at the end of town.
I know,
Yeah,
It's
so,
hook-
so
fish
this
hooks.
this is like a
it's like
f***ing
Kevlar
wire
line.
cord. Yeah, Kevlar
Kevlar
line.
line.
Out of
with
a
fish
gun?
with fish hooks on the end of it.
Yeah.
It looks like
That sounds as demo ranch as it
it
gets.
kind of it looks like a cell phone almost. And
Yeah,
like,
it was like made for cops, and so it's like it's a less than lethal, and you just shoot it, and it'll wrap up arms or legs or whatever, but it just goes and like hooks
and then
on
fish
you.
hooks go in your skin.
That's got to be horrible when you hit him in the neck and it's just an immediate tourniquet.
And it's like, yeah, you can't get them. Like they hook in your skin like fish hooks. They're in you, and I mean, we had to like pull them out of our skin.
You had
It
to
sucked.
take pliers and get them out of my
Kevlar
skin.
is hard to cut.
And it's
too.
Kevlar,
Like,
it's
yeah.
Kevlar line, and it's crazy.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
They were cool.
We had the taser guys there too.
Yeah, and the water cannon.
Yeah. Oh, the water cannon was gnarly.
There was nothing funner than having a friend that's like, yeah, I have these houses that are full of mold and we have to rip them down. I was like, can we do the
we
meme?
shoot 'em?
Can we do the meme
Fridge.
for when the big gun is for when the enemy's hiding behind my enemy's refrigerator? And then we went out and did that fucking video.
Shot a house.
Yeah.
It actually
And then
went through all of them. Surprisingly, a lot
shockingly,
of lower calibers.
Like 9mm was enough to go through one exterior wall of fridge and penetrate a human.
Oh yeah.
So then everything else is just like, I mean, well, let's see
Yeah,
what the
like,
liquor
what
What
calibers
was the
do now.
basis of that video that you guys
Full
did
Metal.
together?
It's that meme.
You know the meme, like the Desert
It says-
Eagle for when the burglar's hiding behind your neighbor's
Yeah.
refrigerator.
No, yeah, it says 50 cal for when the burglar's hiding behind the fridge in your neighbor's house. And it like supposed to be like it goes through everything, which bullets apparently do.
9mm does that actually.
Full Metal Jackets.
Yeah.
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 People don't realize walls are not thick.
And Full Metal Jacket does
God,
not stop.
I read through the comments on that video. All the Europeans just shitting on American construction methods
Because they're not made out of
while
stone.
they're sweating, and 27 people die every time you guys have a heat wave because you can't install air conditioners. You morons.
Side eye to show. That was fucking aggressive. Jesus Christ. I watched that happen. Like, Jamie, pull that shit back. Like that.
Rewind slow-mo.
We just get done shooting through this house with 7 different calibers of guns, and I was like, yeah, good thing you guys shut the gas off. And Matt's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
should
yeah,
have
we
done
did.
We were shooting a different house out on that property, so I guess we should have learned.
What a American state.
We were shooting a different house out there, and we hear, and we're like, "Oh no!"
It smells like eggs.
We thought we hit a gas line. I was like, "I didn't think there was gas in this house," and we start freaking out.
Oh, God, it was just the squatter.
We realized it was just an air
Why is he
conditioner.
hissing?
Like there's like compressed gases in there.
Freon?
Yeah, like Freon, and it was hissing. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this
Crack-
house is about to explode."
Crackheads do weird shit when you shoot them, man. I don't know.
Trust me, I know.
Corner raccoon.
Ugh, gross. Bam.
Oh, no.
Holy shit. Yeah, so,
Moral of the story: we've done a lot of crazy shit together the past fucking 10 years. Dude.
yeah, it's been
wild.
a long time. That's crazy.
Better part of a decade.
Yeah. When did you move here?
Shit. 5 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was coming out here and hanging out
But
with
yeah,
you.
you've already been
2020,
making videos for a
before
couple
that,
years.
Yeah.
because you stay with me, you and John live with me for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lived with Eli for a little bit.
I forgot about that. Yeah, fuck yeah, that was 2
yeah.
weeks. Like
And
2020.
you came like a year after that, or
I have a couple weeks.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, it was
wow.
pretty.
Shit.
2020 something.
It was the big winter freeze, the snowpocalypse.
apocalypse here.
You were there for that, remember?
Yeah, oh yeah.
We were
Oh,
staying
yeah.
at our buddy's house.
Yeah, and then Brian pulls up during the snowpocalypse in his truck.
He's like, "What the hell?"
I moved my entire life, like my girlfriend at the time, everything. Like we moved across the country, like Texas, where it's f***ing hot. And
We took a wrong turn.
because I was already spending months at a time in Texas, just hanging out with you guys or like doing work shit or whatever. I'm like, I'm just moving to San Antonio. And we get to Houston and the snow starts to fall, and I'm like, oh fuck. So
Houston snow is crazy. That's insane. You're right next to the ocean, the Gulf of America.
the Gulf of America, yeah.
Freezing.
Well, he got here when no one had food, no one had
yeah,
power.
there's no power.
No
Like,
restaurants were open.
Yeah.
No grocery stores
Gas
were open.
stations, yeah.
And you're moving your entire life. You don't have a fridge. You don't have food. I think we went to a Buc-ee's, and I'm just like, load up on everything calorie dense because it might be a minute.
Yeah. And you pulled up. I don't know if we can keep this, Brandon. It's your choice, but I just liked. Then you had a conversation for an hour about it's not safe to drive.
Yeah. So, somebody had wanted to go home, and I was like, I don't know how to explain this to you. Like, I'm like, we can't. That's not a option right now.
You're just sliding down the road like this. He's like, "Is that good enough? Are we good? We clear?"
Did I
I
explain
shot, and I'm
myself?
like,
Brandon walked back in. He's like, "Yeah, we're not."
His first night in Texas, we're in a 2-3 bedroom home, and there's probably like 15 adults in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it was the only house that had power at the time because it was on the hospital grid.
yep.
Batty fed us. What? It was just like gushers.
Gushers.
Slim
I know, it was like gush. No. It was like just gushers.
I made a pot roast for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
That
you
was
did.
so fucking funny, man.
That was like, it's like walking. It's like, oh, we're all gonna eat each other.
You guys are all sitting there like, all right, who's going to be the first one to eat one of Batty's lizards?
I look back and those were such good times. Just, none of us knew what the fuck was going on, man.
That's life.
Also, another one of the first times I came down, we killed Goldie.
Yeah.
You had the
van.
the minivan.
Yeah, we bought
Painted
this
gold.
minivan. We painted it gold, and it turned out just to be the best running thing ever. Like we couldn't kill it. We just kept making videos with
It was like a
Goldie.
Hilux.
No, yeah, it was like a Hilux, yeah. But yeah, we made videos forever with it, and then finally it was like kind of getting pretty beat up because we were just running it into trees. And
You tied it to what? We were in that like little reservoir.
we didn't tie
beside
it to
Bunker
anything.
HQ.
We
and
tied
it
the
was-
steering wheel turned a little bit.
Oh, really?
And it was just doing circles.
We put a brick on the pedal and just let it go around in circles, and we just ran back. And we're like, ah! And the car's just, and we're just like, well, let's just shoot different calibers and see what happens. And
That was the first time my son came down too. Because remember, John was just like, just kill it.
well, Kentucky was there, and he,
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
remember if it was him or Batty. One of them two shot a 50 BMG incendiary at it. And then the van lit on fire, and we're like, "Oh my gosh! If this thing burns all these trees," and we're like,
We kind of have to stop the van now.
So we were like, well, how do we put it out? And I had this one little faucet, but no hose, so we just had buckets and we fill it up and go dump buckets of water. Water's not great at putting out gasoline, by the way. So we're like trying, and we somehow did get it to go out.
Yeah, that was the first time my son experienced Texas, and he's like, "This is what Matt does."
These guys are crazy.
It's like, yeah, this is it. We just shoot the minivan going in circles.
Pretty good introduction.
Yeah, that sums up Demolition Ranch.
I never
Jeez,
thought about
do
that.
you ever think about like when your kids get out in the real world and they're just not surrounded by our group? Like,
My kids are not surrounded by our group.
That's probably that's for the best.
I don't bring my kids
He made his
around.
own wall
say,
around
Yeah.
that.
Have you guys ever hung out with my kids? Rarely.
I've never even met his kids. Like,
I keep my kids far away from our group.
I've only met Mare one time.
It's whenever I was like, especially when I was coming to visit or anything, like before I lived here, and we'd stay at the YouTuber suite.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And just like waking up the next morning, I'm used to like hanging out with all the guys, whatever, like all this degenerate shit, and then like walking into your kitchen as your kids are getting ready to go to school and there's
Dude.
pancakes out, whatnot. I'm like, I feel like a horrible.
That's what was so hard about being like living this YouTube life is I'd have people come in and they'd spend the night because we had this little separate apartment that was just we really just bought that house because we thought it was cool. There was like an apartment in it, so people could come in and make videos. But normal guys who don't have kids, they stay up till 3 a.m, and I have to get up at 6 a.m. to like feed kids and take them to school. And so it's like I would be like so worn out because I'm waking up so early. And then like the people, not you guys in particular, but some guys like wouldn't wake. Well, actually, Donut probably wouldn't wake up until like
That's for you.
noon. I'll drink it.
You're having one bush light with me before you retire.
I'll do
Yeah.
it.
Deal.
May I have a bush?
Oh
light,
yeah.
Yeah, but they wouldn't wake up till like noon. We can't start making videos till 2, and then like I got to pick up kids from school at 4:30, and I'm like, this is not working for our little day. But
Yeah.
it's hard figuring out that stuff. Family life plus YouTube life, you can make it work. It's just challenging.
It was
You
like
guys
that
know.
in the political world too, because it was like I had to like drive 4 hours to West Texas to do events or whatever. So I'm like, I'm doing all the YouTuber life, but I still have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go start my day with a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
And like that was the juxtaposition of doing what we do and doing anything else a functional adult does is very difficult.
Everybody wonders why I haven't moved to Texas yet. It's because it makes it really easy to not have to fight that battle.
Have a normal home life.
Last night at the bar, I was like, I gotta go, guys.
I'm gonna go convince.
Well, I was like, you guys staying here?
You missed some really funny shit.
Bro, it got aggressive after you left. We almost got in a fight.
With
Yep.
who?
An 80s action movie villain.
Literally, bear in mind, we stayed up till 3 a.m. the night prior watching both versions of Roadhouse, and
That
then we
is true.
almost got in a bar fight
feeling
the
it.
next night.
I feel like that was completely not our fault.
We were sitting there minding our own business, and a woman that apparently was 40, based on what she said, and was
Loudly.
recently divorced, that she said 5 more times, came up and was hitting on some of us, and we were
just all
polite
just wanna,
or
like-
whatever, and we were like, yeah, cool, blah blah blah, and she talked for like 5-10 minutes, and then like went
Like
off,
standing over our table
like
while we're
standing
just
over
trying to
us
hang
while
out.
we're talking.
I was like, oh, vodka, you guys. They were offering to buy drinks.
How did
and
you
it's
know
like,
she offered to buy us vodka?
I was there.
Oh, for
were
that
there
part
for the
you were
first
there?
part.
You were there
Yeah.
for you were there for the second part.
The first part was like, I was like, oh, vodka, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, I got to use the restroom real quick. And I went and fucking shit because I had cheese. But when I came back, they weren't there. I was like, no. I don't have to.
So she went and was like making out with some other dude that she went and found at the bar for a while, very aggressively, like licking tongues
Like
at the
they
bar.
were getting kicked out of the bar. It was aggressive.
aggressive. And then as they were leaving together, she stopped at our table again and was like saying hi again.
Was it you have 3 exits to make up your mind? I think.
Was her phrasing. And then the dude that she had left with has already walked out, and he comes back in like 2 minutes later, and he's got like a Hawaiian shirt with like the bottom 2 buttons done. Like his whole chest is out, and he's got one of those like Colgate flosser picks in his mouth, and he's chewing on it like a 1980s cool guy with a toothpick. It's like, you coming with me or you staying with these boys? King Trout looks around and is like, did that just
We all did like just the sunglasses off, like. Not saying we're hot shit, but this is a bold table to have that attitude with you.
Les Grossman.
Any table of 3 grown men by yourself to walk up and be like, these boys is insane.
You have this 250-pound gorilla right here. You're going to call him a boy? And with Brandon and fucking Trout sitting there. That's
That poor
wild.
guy also, he's like, I'm getting late tonight. And then the girl's like, oh yeah, I forgot about you 3. I'll curse you.
I don't know how to say
She
this,
was
but
shit-wrecked.
like this guy doesn't look like one of us. Like it's just a very mid, skinny white guy. We're
He
just like
looked
he doesn't.
like a 1980s tough guy at a bar, and we just got done watching Roadhouse. I was like, and in the back of my mind, I was like, all of us can post bail. This isn't.
like, man, I just wanted to go home.
There's some mugshots that won't be good for my career, and there's some that would, and this is one that might be pretty cool.
I miss
He
that.
worked for Trump.
Just saying.
He sold a lot of shirts, man.
It's kind of my thing.
I just remember them being shit-wrecked when they approached, and then
It didn't get better.
I didn't figure that. I was like, ooh, okay, I'm out. I'm sorry.
I dadded that one. I went home last night. I was
You
like,
were
I wanna
out
go,
for that part.
Yeah, I was like, I want to go see my son. You guys went out and almost got into a fucking bar fight with a 1980s villain.
You would have been so pissed if we got in a bar fight without you.
I know, that would have been horrible.
I was asleep by
Her drunk friend comes up. I've never seen a man so openly displaying his wedding ring, and I was like, okay.
How were you sitting?
I was sitting like this.
With your wedding ring
because
hidden?
She was like standing above me, so I was like this, listening to the conversation, and her friend walks up like, this guy's trying to show off his wedding ring, and I was like,
Yes.
I mean, no, but also
I'm just
yes.
in a defensive posture because I don't know you and you're hovering
Because I'm
over me.
uncomfortable and you're dressed like Han Solo in January. Like,
That is pretty funny now that I think about it.
Don't talk shit about the white Whitney Houston.
oh my God.
She did say that.
She literally,
said-
she was so drunk. She's like, I did, after we just watched her make out with a dude at the bar.
I missed a lot.
I recently
I
got
went home at
divorced.
9:10, by the way.
This all happened over the course of 30 more minutes.
I shouldn't be doing this. I just got back from church from worship. And she's like, I go to a black church. They call me the white Whitney Houston. And I'm trying. I had to get up and go to the bathroom. I was laughing so hard.
God, she's trying really hard.
Damn, 30 more minutes. Damn. I should have stayed longer.
Sounds like you guys were not picking up what she was putting down.
I don't think we wanted to pick up what she was putting down.
NPC behavior, dude.
What was,
The random encounters from GTA. What is Strangers and Freaks? It's like, oh, fuck, all right. This is entertaining.
Hey, Brandon.
Yes, Eli?
When you think of businesses that are just crushing it, Bunker, Unsub, what's the first thing to enter your mind?
That's easy, Eli. A good child labor law attorney. Huh? Eli, I said Shopify. What did you hear?
Actually, it was the overlooked secret behind the business.
Like I said, Shopify.
Oh. Which brings us to today's ad.
Shopify. I mean, we use Shopify on a daily basis.
That's right. We use Shopify for Bunker, Brandon, and Unsub. Those magical shoes we have where they're linked through Shopify to the mythical store at Bunker Branding. And because of Shopify, they communicate.
It's like your mom and your dad on their anniversary night. Not yours.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify.
They are home of the #1 checkout on the planet.
With ShopPay, which boosts your conversion up to 50%.
50%. Just like the age of all of our factory workers are 50% the age they need to be legally employed in the United States.
Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we get over at Unsubscribe or Bunker.
Sign up for your $1 per month trial period over at shopify.com/unsubpod.
Head over to shopify.com/unsubpod to upgrade your selling today.
today.
Shopify.com/unsubpod.
All lowercase.
We've talked about this, like, and I don't know about you. With Cody, it is. Did you ever have that thought process? It's like, hey, I'm retiring. At any point before that, was like, I'm going to hand it off to my kids.
Me?
Yeah. Were you ever like in that thought
y'all
process?
talking to me. Sorry, I was still thinking about the fight last night.
Roadhouse.
I honestly don't know if I want my kids to do this. You know, I don't know, but yeah, someone did like ask me if I would ever sell the channel, and I was like, nah, I don't think so. I mean, I guess everything is for sale. Like, if it was a
200 million.
Yeah, if it's a crazy amount, like I can't say that I would really stand strong on that. But like, there's a big sentimental part of it where it's like, I want it because it's something I created. It was my baby
that's
for
your
so
legacy,
long.
dude.
Yeah, it's something that like I loved, and so I want it for me. But then it's also like, what if in 20 years I want to be Hickok 45 on the internet, you know, still making videos? Or what if I want to let one of my kids go ahead and take it over and have Demolition Ranch come back if YouTube is still a thing in 20 years, you know, or 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, you know?
It's an interesting perspective because like if one of your kids approached you, let's say in like 2-3 years,
Yeah.
like they're a little older, and said, Dad, I want to do YouTube. What would your advice? Like, what's your take?
2-3 years is too soon. They're not old enough yet. But if they're in
18,
their 20s,
20s,
yeah, if they're in their 20s and they want to do that, like, yeah, go for it. I don't care.
Well,
I mean,
we're the first generation of YouTubers,
Yeah.
dude.
And
what do you
so-
do? What do you do with that channel?
right. And like, if YouTube is still a thing, like, we also would have the first like multi-generational on YouTube, like someone.
Yeah.
I mean, now you have actors who their parents were actors. You know, the Charlie Sheens. You know, and
Every business that you start, especially a family business,
Yeah.
that is, I've started this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass this off. You take
Yeah.
care of it. This is the first one where it's like, I don't fucking know. Because it
Yeah.
is scary. You're
It's
like,
it's
I
the
don't
first
know
one.
if you want to.
Yeah, and
this is a lot
when they're
of
in their 20s, I
responsibility.
think it's great. Like they're old enough to make their own decisions and everything, and so I would be totally fine with that in their 20s. But yeah, there's so many like Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen, like
The Skarsgårds.
Scar guards.
Yeah.
and yeah, like that's great. You know, their dads obviously helped them get there or whatever, and so if that is how YouTube is, that is kind of cool, and so I kind of like it.
We all say like, oh, you know, if YouTube is still a thing, and like it blows my mind to think about it. But like YouTube currently is 20 years old.
Yeah, it's like my whole career.
I just watch your fucking face change entirely.
It's true though.
Yeah,
Like,
everyone is like,
yeah, but it's something that like my whole career I've thought, you know, especially I was a vet for the first, you know,
thank you for your service.
half of it.
Thank you
Yeah.
for your service.
We pass it off to you.
But yeah, I was a veterinarian. I held on to that because I was like, well, YouTube it's new. It may just disappear any day. So I don't want to count on that as my career. And so I did that for a long time until like I was making way more money on YouTube. And I was like, okay, it's more fun. It's more flexible. I can do it whenever I feel like it. And now it's way more profitable. So I guess I'm going to do more YouTube than veterinary work. And where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so then we kept using it as just YouTube may disappear at any time.
Yeah.
Like I knew like, okay, 2 years from now YouTube might not be here. But now that it's been going for 20 years, it's like, what if this is still here in 20 more years? What if YouTube is like a lifelong career, which it looks like it could be?
I think it's the new Hollywood.
Yeah,
I think it's replacing.
insane.
You still have the 15 minutes of fame, you know? Because like I don't think I'll be here in 10 years. Like
Yeah.
on YouTube, like
Yeah.
in the same place. Like I don't think I got that in me. Like I don't think that's a thing that any of us like 10 years from now. I'm like
Yeah,
I don't know. This has an expiration date. We just don't know what it
different
is.
person in 10 years. Like, you know, similar, but you're going to change in that amount of time. And I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, people keep getting shot, so I'm going to be around forever.
Well, you got job security.
Assholes never die.
We just
Well,
need to sit
I
and
mean,
talk
your entire
here.
channel is watching assholes die.
Cody,
So like you got how many subscribers did you get on Vet Ranch?
4 million or something, I think.
Yeah, that was doing good.
Yeah, it was. YouTube is what killed that. So YouTube made it to where blood, you know, like
Yeah.
if there's blood, you can't make money on it anymore.
Yeah, even if you're like taking care of a puppy or a
And
kitten.
so, and mine was like not gratuitous blood. It was like I'm showing how a surgery
Scientific.
works. Like
Because you even censored it too, like blurred.
I
like
tried censoring it, and it really the censoring took away what I loved about Vet Ranch, which was I could take like my dad was a veterinarian, and so I got to go in the clinic as a little kid and watch these crazy surgeries. You know, I'm sitting there at the edge of the table watching these crazy surgeries, and I was like, that was cool as a kid to see because not many kids get to see that kind of stuff. And so I thought Vet Ranch is cool because I can show kids across the world what it looks like to take out a bladder stone, or what it looks like when a dog eats this and you have to cut its stomach open and pull it out. But then YouTube came through 5 years later and just made it to where you can't make any money on it. It was like those videos were really expensive and really hard to make. 'Cause, they took a month of me like following these dogs throughout their recovery or whatever.
But because it's educational, you can still watch some gay dude nair his asshole on YouTube.
Can you watch that?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a whole
Yes.
thing.
Well, oh God.
Don't
I'm about
pull
to
it
get-
up.
Boobs.
Do not pull that up, Chase.
Chase, do us all a solid, man.
Straight up boobs are against the rules unless you're holding a baby and you claim it has anything to do with breastfeeding, which is a whole nother level of disgusting. Because there's all these women like on Instagram and YouTube reels and everything where
Taking
it's like
advantage of the
blatantly
loophole. I have
promoting
seen that.
OnlyFans while
Yes.
holding an infant. And I was like, that's
Have you seen
fucked up.
I don't know if it's weird or not, but where they have a fake baby?
The dolls.
Yes. What the hell?
What?
Well, like, not to get on my old
Now
man
it's going to be on
soapbox.
y'all's algorithm too.
Matt's sitting over here trying to show kids that, like, yeah, blood is a thing.
Yeah, it's
Taking
real
care
life.
of dogs is a thing.
Yeah.
This is a thing that happens in your life.
Real skills.
Yeah, real like teaching young people like this is part of life, and they fucked you on
And
it.
it was all homeless dogs. So we were like net positive. We're helping out,
So it's almost like charity work at that point.
It was, I was getting paid for it, so it wasn't charity work for me. But like we're doing net positive stuff, which was really cool. And then they cut basically all funding for it, and it was like, well, I can't spend a month working on these videos that I'm not going to make any money on. Well, now I'm going to lose money on every one of them, and so it was hard, and just kind of took the fun of making them. When I tried censoring, and then you couldn't show anything, and it was just, I don't know, they just felt lame, and then I wasn't making money on them.
Would you ever go back to it? Like just as like a thing now that
Yeah.
you're retired, you're like, you're going to go back to veterinary
That is
work
one of the
and-
options that I think may happen, is go back and just be a regular veterinarian again, which is
no.
weird.
Shit.
A weird thing to think about. Yeah.
I'm going to have to get a hurt dog to get you back on Unsub.
Yes. Yes.
It's just
I know what I have to do. I just don't know if I have the strength
You
to
have
do
to-
it.
the
you have to
opening
hurt a
episode,
dog.
like, Doug, I'm sorry. We have to summon Matt.
And the screen goes by.
It's like the meme with the black guy, the black guy crying with the gun. Like,
Jesus.
But yeah, that's on the table. It's weird.
Cool. Your family still owns, still has the practice, right?
Yeah. My sister-in-law
Really?
purchased the practice from me. Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah. I knew you sold it. I didn't know you sold it to family. That's
Yep.
cool.
Yep. Yeah. So
So that's actually like, hey, this might be. What is the other one? Other than that one, have you had any other options for yourself where you're like, oh, this sounds
like
fun
what I
too?
might do.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just become like a rancher. Just like have cattle and just, no, I really don't have any plans, but like I might be nothing like that for a while. Like I'm just gonna I need to put up some fence. I'm just gonna do old man shit for a while. Like I don't know.
Bro, Matt's going hardcore Yellowstone. It's
You know what I say?
awesome.
Can I
I'm gonna
Yellowstone with
sell
you,
all
dude?
my vehicles and just ride a horse to town. If you see the guy on the horse, that's me.
Dude, I got my 1,000 videos in. Like, can I come Yellowstone with you?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just be a ranch hand.
All my friends are
Literally.
Yellowstoning.
Literally right off in the sunset.
Yellowstoner.
Yeah, okay, guy that just recently ran for office. Like, you're not doing it too.
Fuck you, man. That was a very poignant example.
So, like,
In the show, he won.
So I guess, like, I'll be honest, like, I came in so late, I never really looked up to you as like the content creation side, but like the cool part for me was one of the first times I ever came to town and we were talking and you were like, I flew in Friday night and I was flying out Monday morning and I was like, hey, you want to get together, do whatever? And you're like, oh, sorry, man, my weekends are for family.
Yeah.
And like, that was super cool to me just to like, so like I look up
That's
to you
why I
as
told
like,
you wanted to do this podcast yesterday, which was a Sunday, and I said no. I said I had stuff going on. I didn't. It was.
But that's
I was just
fine.
hanging with family.
Like
Smart. Smart.
I love it. So like I don't look up to you as a content creator, but like I look up to you as like, okay, I got little tiny kids
Yeah.
right now, so it's like how the f- do I navigate doing this while also trying to be a good dad?
He
And,
thinks
like,
you're a shit content
because-
creator.
Yeah, no,
Thanks, appreciate it.
your content's dog shit, especially when I'm in it. But no, so like the cool part to me is like seeing how you manage that and then hearing that. So I guess, do you have any advice for it? Because like I'm constantly struggling with like I had a rougher childhood than I think my kids are going to have. So in
Yeah.
the back of my brain, I'm like, how do I traumatize this kid enough so he's funny and I'd want to hang out with him, but
Yeah.
also he doesn't hate me?
yeah. I had a good childhood, like, you know, great parents who loved me and supported me and everything. So I didn't have that, but I still want to give that to my kids, and I think I have. I think, you know, as a YouTuber, you have a lot of freedom to hang out with your kids all the time. But what I've started realizing is that I also have the freedom to hang out with my kids more than I do. And so I just want to make sure, like, and there's been times when I've felt guilty about, like, you know, for instance, my daughter's birthday is right around SHOT Show. I've literally missed the actual day of her birthday because it was SHOT Show. And I was like, this is the one thing that I got to do this year. And I feel guilty about that, even though we celebrate her birthday 2 days before or whatever, you know, but...
So that's the advice. Don't fuck my wife 9 months from SHOT Show.
but that's the kind of stuff that I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to have to, like, be like, well, it's just 2 days before. It's not a big deal, you know, and I'm there for my kids all the time, but, like, I want to be, like, to where they never can be like, yeah, Dad missed my birthday every year because SHOT Show was around that time, you know? But no, I'm not a perfect father at all, and I'm not aspiring to be a perfect father at all. But yeah, I don't know. I think in a few years, I mean, I have 7.5 more years where my kids are in the house, and I'm like, I want to have no regrets this last 7.5 years that, like, I literally did every single thing. I went to every single game, and I took them to school every time they needed me to take them to school, and that's my plan.
I think a lot of people, Cody, you're feeling that too. It's when they hit 18, 19, 20, they hopefully will move out, and you're going to see him maybe once a month, depending, and it gets less and less, and then that's life.
Does John have his driver's license yet?
No,
he's 15.
No. Yeah, we're working on getting his learner's permit right now.
So my wife's brother, his son just turned 16, and I didn't realize this. He said he didn't realize this. Whenever he turned 16, he was like, he's gone way more than he used to be. He's like, I thought we'd see him for, like, the next couple years, and then he was going to move out. He's like, now that he has his driver's license, like, he goes to school in the morning on his own, and then he comes home, like, you know, they have a curfew or whatever on a weekday. He has to be home by 8 o'clock or whatever, you know. And he's like, we don't see him until 8. He hangs out with his friends. He goes to basketball practice. And he was like, I feel like he's already half moved out at 16 years old. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, that's
good because, like, you kind of want that.
Yeah, for sure. You want them to start getting that independence and that freedom.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to teach John right now. I'm terrified because I'm like, hey, dude, when you get out in the real world, you're not going to be around the Demo Ranch, the fucking Fat Electricians, the Eli, the Brandon Herrera, the Post Malones, like all the people that we're around. That's not a normal thing.
You're not going to go out to eat every day. You're not going to, like,
these are not buying your lunch. Everyone's going to split that shit. I'll take my check, please. Thank you.
Yeah, we're not going out to brunch, dude. Like, it's hard trying to impress on him. Like, this is not a normal life. We do this because, you know, we've scratched and we've worked our way up in the world the past, like, 10 years.
It's shitty because the kids don't see that. Because that was what we were just talking about, where I'm like, man, I am so much more relaxed now than I ever was in my early. Like, I set my 20s on fire to get here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And people don't see that, especially kids. So I can only imagine.
Yeah, Matt's working 18 hours a day. All of us, we're just working 18 hours a day trying to get this shit started. And we're at a comfortable place right now. But, like, how do you tell a kid this is not normal life? Like, this is not what happens.
He's just going to have culture shock when he finally moves out.
Yeah, he's going to have to get, like, roommates and, you know, live in an apartment. And, like, yeah, it's wild.
Eat ramen 6 days a week.
Yep. You can't go out and eat every day. You can't go out and drink. And, like, you're going to have to manage your money, Bubba. It's
a shock. They're going to be like, fuck. Dude, what the fuck is this?
This life sucks. I'm moving back to your dad.
Get out! No.
Well, that's what I'm telling him too.
The code doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, like, I'm not gonna be here forever, buddy. I'm not gonna fucking pay for your meals or, like, your apartment or your car or any of this. So yeah, it's a weird life, bud.
Is that hard for you, or are you like, hey, my kids are pretty set up, they're squared away?
No, my kids, we have a very normal home life. Like, we have, I don't know if y'all know, but we don't hang out with y'all ever.
Dude, to his testament, when we've hung out like twice as fam, like bringing our kiddos over, and I was like, oh, this is so nice. And then we're leaving by like 8 p.m.
Yeah,
that was so lovely.
We have a very normal, like, home life for the kids. We have a bunch of non-YouTube families, not because of you guys, but just because we want our kids. Well,
it's compartmentalized.
Because like, there's 2 of them here. I'm not going to say which ones, but
The brown ones.
Oh no, we were talking about it last night on the podcast with Clint and Vanessa, and how they're like every time you throw a house party and the YouTubers and the normal friends are invited, they're like the
we did that.
intermediary where the doctors are like, how do I talk to all the guys with tattoos and drank too much?
It's like your birthday party.
Yeah,
It's
my
fucking
birthday
hilarious.
party, I was just like, I'm going to invite everyone I know.
It was so good.
It was all of my YouTube friends and all of my church friends.
You got like half the room's fucking sweater vests and glasses, and the other half is doing shots from an AT4.
I was like, man, these are all the people I love in the world. I'm just going to invite freaking everyone here. It's going to be awesome. And it was. I had the best time ever. But there was 2 groups there. It was the school dance where it's like the girls and the boys are split up. But it was funny seeing like JT was there, and he found my Air Force buddy, and they just start talking about Air Force stuff the whole time. Like, people started connecting. It was hilarious, and I loved it.
I know
Best
how to talk
birthday
about the
party
NASDAQ.
What caliber is that?
But yeah, we
NASDAQ. Is it
we
FN?
had an AT4 rocket tube. We put a beer bong in it, and we called it the Beer Zuka, and it was awesome.
I think all of us pulled from it.
Yeah, I mean, I got like my accountant friends to take beer zukas. You know, like we had my family doctor beer zukaing. It was awesome.
The dichotomy of man. Like, what the fuck?
It really did, like, it felt like having split personalities.
It's like Spartacus, where all the wealthy Romans are throwing a party and they bring in the gladiators. It's like a sideshow.
The workers are here. Yeah, you can tell who's on YouTube because like all those guys have sleeves.
Hand tattoos are a good sign.
Hand tattoos. Not a lawyer.
Hey.
So I talked about that, like getting like neck tattoos or something, because it's like, just so you know, we're never going back to a real job.
That was my commitment when I got these. I was like, I'm never going back. I
Exactly.
can't.
That's why I get hand tattoos now. I'm not doing that again.
I'll
I've
never
become too
not work.
confrontational.
Never not work for myself ever again. Like that, you just can't.
It was like, worst case scenario, I'm going to open up my own electrician shop and I'm still going to work for myself.
Yep.
Oddly enough, when the power's out, you don't care how many tattoos the guy has that shows up to turn the lights back on.
Although I did see a guy in Vegas who really made that commitment, like harder than I've ever seen. I passed him in the grocery store, had fucking SS runes tattooed on his neck. Like, man, that guy better be self-employed or he's just not employed.
He's a roofer.
Works for the gas company.
Oh,
I got a cheese.
On that
you just can't.
I'm like, God damn, dog.
He's a train engineer.
Oh, Cody. Everyone's like, I'm going to pee also. Do you have to pee?
I actually do have to pee, but
Go pee.
You guys are gonna be so lonely without me.
No, we'll go pee too. I actually have to pee. I'm drinking more than I usually
No,
do.
this is
I was like, I don't drink.
I had a water bottle before this, and now I'm like, yeah, I gotta pee.
Now we get asked the fun questions like, what was the worst moment in all of demo history? We talked about one, which
That's probably what I'll bring up again.
But your perspective is quite nice on the subject.
Let's do it.
What is it?
We're going.
Yeah, it's
okay.
already fucking rolling, dog. We don't hit pause.
Yeah, my I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe it just feels like the worst moment because it was the most recent. But yeah, it was the Trump shooting.
The eyeballs on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it really was like, I don't want to be associated with this, but for some reason, I'm associated with it, and so it's.
Hey, that was my worst moment too.
Why was that your worst?
Because I had just taken a loan out against my house and spent a significant amount of money to buy into your company. And literally 36 hours later,
serious? Was
I
that
was
soon?
like, oh no, I'm going to lose my house.
Well, that was one of my like really good friends is an attorney, and so we do all like our contracts through him. And he calls me and he's like, "Hey, I talked to one of my like big attorney friends," and he was like, "You could get actually the first thing he said, "Hey, are all of your guns legal?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he goes, "Oh, good." And I was like, "Why?"
Good.
This is like the first call. Everything's happening. You're like, "Bah."
Yeah, my attorney friend calls me. It was like 2 days later or something. So like it all like we had been watching the news.
Why'd you pause?
Yeah, and he was like, yeah. He said, good. And I was like, why? And he goes, well, because you're probably gonna get they're gonna get a warrant and come like look through all your stuff. And I'm like, why? And he's like, just because it's a big, like, worldwide, thing, and they're gonna want to make sure that you don't have any involvement with it. I was like, because he wore my t-shirt. He's like, he's just saying they might. And I'm like, well, that's gonna fucking suck.
Just to preface the conversation, if you guys haven't seen it, we talked about it with Clint and Jenna last night. Like, there was a person who shot at the sitting president and was wearing one of Matt's shirts.
The star of Beavis and Butthead, I believe. Yeah.
Well, and he was wearing one of the shirts that, like, our most popular shirt, the one I've worn the most, like a gray shirt that just says Demolition.
Demolition.
Like, we have sold so many of those shirts. All you guys have had one of those shirts, and like
immediately after, I think we all did videos like in that shirt, just out of solidarity. Like,
I mean, and we like, I was going over to one of my buddy's houses.
Solidarity for you, for the record. Just throwing that out there because
it's a great clip. Sabotaging future Brandon again.
Politics bringing it out and they feel the need to clarify.
I just like Brandon realizing, like,
oh, dang it. Well, that's going to get clipped out of context. No, I was going over to a guy's house that night just to hang out, and he was like, man, did you hear about this Trump shooting? And I was like, no. And he tells me, like, yeah, some guy took a shot at Trump. And I was like, that's crazy. And that's all we knew. And then, like, 2 hours later, my brother texts me, and he was like, have you seen this? And sends me a screenshot. He was the first one that let me know, Drew.
Oh, Drewski?
Yeah, Drewski. He was the first one to let me know. He, like, sends me, he's like, have you seen this? And I was like, that's not real. Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that picture? And he's like, it's the one they're showing. And I look it up, and I'm like, that is for sure one of my shirts. Like,
I didn't believe it at first.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way. Like, that's insane. And it was insane, and it happened, and it's crazy. But yeah, it sucked. Like, the news is talking about the guy's name and Trump and me.
And your militia.
And my militia.
The militia.
This alt-right militia.
Yeah, of course, the biggest 2A YouTubers in the world. This militia.
Yeah. Fuck journalists, man.
Mm-hmm.
We don't bully them enough.
They don't go to heaven.
I did talk to the FBI. They did call, like, weeks later. Like, it was like months later. It was like 2 months later. They called. Like, they never did an investigation. I never got a warrant. They never looked through anything. I think someone probably was like, that doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. But so the FBI did reach out just to, like, chat. And they said, well, like, the guy was, like, looking through your videos, like, to learn how to, like, shoot guns and stuff. And blah. And I went, wait, what? I was like, what do you mean? Do you know that? Because no one's ever told me that before. And she goes, well, no, I was just saying maybe that's what happened. I was like,
fuck.
So why did you say that? And she's like,
I love
He
you,
also
but
sucked.
of all the gun YouTubers,
Yeah.
looking at how to shoot guns efficiently is not what I would go to your channel
but that's
for.
what she said. And I was like, why did you say that? And she was like, I don't know. I mean, it was just like, I just thought maybe. And I was like, did someone say that they found that out? Like, I don't know. And she was like, no, I'm not on the case. I have no idea. And I was like, okay.
Did he wear a can of beans to stop a bullet?
Brandon's
That's what they would wear if they watched your videos.
What'd you say?
I just wore a can of beans on my chest to stop a round if they shot me. That's a demo dude watching the armor.
So, I would like to say we're all professional shooters here. In Brandon's video, how hard was it to recreate just shooting the ear?
Yeah, well, because you had those like leftist conspiracy theories where it's like, oh, well, it was planned. He just wanted to get nicked in the ear or whatever.
Insane.
Literally impossible. Like not like it's a hard shot. It's literally not possible.
Because
to
you
predict.
did it from 10 feet away, and you had to do it, what, three times?
3 times?
Well, because you're talking about like MOA, so it's like 1 inch at 100 yards. He was shooting at like 150 yards.
No
the gun
wind,
he was
like-
using.
Wind, all these variations.
The gun he was using is like maybe like 3 MOA, 2 MOA. The dot he's using, 2 extra MOA. Like all these things on top of it.
He's putting it on a sloped roof on a mag. He didn't have a tripod or anything, right? I mean, he's on
Those scary sloped roofs.
He's balancing on a mag while he's stressed because he knows people are yelling at him from the ground. Like,
Totally.
Like,
You
insane.
like accidentally killed that poor dude in the audience.
But stacking what you're saying, it is.
So you got like
if a
6
machine is precision shooting with that weapon, that optic, there's 5-inch variation every
More,
single
probably.
shot, and that's being like gracious.
Yeah, if you were a fucking computer, like if you were a Terminator level shooter and doing like the best possible, no human error.
Literally, the air and the machinery and the physics
is bigger than your head.
no.
It's an impossible shot to fake, it was just so stupid. You get all these people that don't know jack shit about guns that start going on their soapbox.
And then
about
you
how
get
it's
people on Twitter
scripted.
just clipping the slow-mo footage being like, a YouTuber proved that it was a fake shot.
Yeah, and I was like, what the
Even that video, remember I said, it's like, you should use a piece of ham for the ear because people are going to see the ballistic gel ripple.
Yeah.
That was one of my things I said during that video. I was like, they're going to see the ripple and be like, see, it's fake. And sure as shit.
dipshits?
Ear tissue's cartilage completely different. than
Cartilage,
ballistic
little
gel.
bit different density than human skin.
You don't hate journalists enough.
Yeah, dude, you get these fucking journalists who have never done any kind of shooting, which we saw from like people we've had out the range before, never done any type of shooting, and they're like, no, it's fake. This is all fake.
The shit. What was the part where you were like, oh, it's not gonna be that bad?
It was 2 weeks later, I think, and like I was actually pretty stressed for 2 weeks. 'Cause I don't want to be associated with that. That sucks, like someone died. Also, it was just like a bad deal all around. But it was 2 weeks later, and everyone just forgot about it. Like everybody was really like, we had reporters coming to my house. We had reporters. Yeah,
To your house.
We had
the second and third assassination
We
attempt
had-
really helped you out.
we had someone come to our house. We had people calling, like reporters calling my phone and sending us messages and calling our work line and like all these people bugging us until I put out the video that literally just said, yeah, we didn't know him. I don't, support this.
I don't have a militia.
I've never talked to him. We don't want this. And I was like, he literally just bought a shirt online. He didn't come to our store. We shipped it to him. And then everyone stopped talking to us, but they were still talking about us a little bit. And then like 2 weeks later, the world forgot about it and they went on to the next thing. It was literally 2 weeks and no one talked about it anymore.
I don't know if I ever told you this. I had reporters that I knew, had people that I had coordinated with from the campaign that were calling me about that, getting comment and shit like that.
Yeah.
It was a media
The
frenzy.
reason, they were doing that because they had no information. They were interested in me because they had no information. It was like, this is a guy, he was this old, here's his name, and he was wearing a Demolition Ranch shirt. So they were like, that's our only lead. We have to call Matt. They hadn't, really, if you think about it, we got no information on the guy. We still don't know motive, right? I don't know if they ever came out with why he did it.
An incel looking head ass. I don't know.
Yeah. And so that was all they had. And then they
Sorry, was that?
I don't know. He could have fucking touched grass and talked to women a little bit more, and then he probably wouldn't have done that, Shinzo Abe type shit.
On that Shinzo Abe grind set.
Yeah.
I loved all the memes that were like Shinzo curving the bullet and shit like that. It was just like Donaldson duck.
I don't know. Come on. That's my soapbox, my dad's soapbox again. That's the problem with youth right now. What did Shinzo say? Touch grass, fucking go out in the sunlight.
Talk to girls in
what
real
they do-
life.
Yeah, talk to girls. What they do? They killed them.
Touch a grass, eat a ass. Shinzo Abe.
It's like, talk to real women, touch grass. And they're like, the Japanese youth was like, it's easier to kill you. They shot him.
We always say 2 weeks on the internet, just shut the fuck up for 2 weeks or do a really good message, and you're like, hey, buh.
Yeah, you don't fucking talk about it. Because I went through that a couple of years ago.
He did. He did.
And then I got banned for it off Twitch for
Really? I don't remember that.
I think 2 weeks.
But
what I did was not address it.
Yeah, I never knew about it because you didn't address
I didn't
it.
do anything
Yeah.
wrong, so I'm not going to apologize for my words.
And I texted you, I was like, do not apologize. Just fucking 2 weeks is going to be gone. And then.
That's the shit that kills me, though, is people don't understand context matters. Because you weren't saying it in the context of you were trying to put someone down, or it wasn't a hate crime.
No.
You were making a joke to a friend. That fucking matters to me.
It was to my gay girlfriend.
Yeah.
Sad. Notorious trans woman.
Yeah.
Hateful Cody.
The girl my best friend.
But in a gay way.
Yeah.
But no, like what you were saying, dude, when it comes down to it, just don't address it, because the people that make the headlines are just pieces of shit.
No. Yeah. We almost didn't. We thought, do we need to do this? And I was like, I feel like I just need to like at least tell people I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. He just bought a shirt, you know.
It had to be a mixed bag seeing how many views that video got so quick.
Yeah, the CPMs are. He was like, I'm gonna do a second video.
What's weird is, yeah, like it was definitely bad. We didn't want that, but then like views are fun. So like it was. I was like, yikes. I hope this never happens again.
Matt dabbled in the dark side of the force.
I was like,
Lord, why do you give me?
yeah. I was like, this is
The toughest battle.
2 of the strongest YouTubers.
It's like, God, I don't like it, but like, look how many views I got. That's crazy. We went ahead and never talked about it again, but
I was telling, I think we were talking about it yesterday, where like you just sent that message to like all of our group chat. There's like all the YouTubers, I guess, in this group, and you're just like sent the picture of the shirt, and you're like, Chad, am I cooked?
yeah, I was cooked for a couple weeks and then never forgot about it, so it was perfect.
I mean, you didn't do anything fucking wrong. Is the,
I know,
the
and
big thing.
that's what it was. Is they like I was worried like it would just kill everything and everybody would, you know, like I don't know. I don't really know what I thought would happen. Like just the time sink if I had to like go through a FBI investigation would have sucked, and just the stress of that. But
I mean, a president being shot's a thing that hasn't happened in our lifetime.
right, yeah,
Like, what is the rule book for that?
right. Yeah, I had
2024,
no
you know?
idea what to worry about, but I was worried about it, and yeah, it turned out for me fine in the end. It was just a weird time.
Well, the other thing is like,
Yeah.
if you were like some crazy person that was like anti-gun, anti-Trump, blah 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 blah, it's like
It would make more
and
sense.
you wanted to like make guns look bad, and you got on the internet, it was like Googled biggest gun influencer, like you're definitely one of the names that popped up. So like it would make sense to buy your shirt if you were
Or
trying.
like we
to,
said, or if you're just trying to blend into a crowd of Trump people.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, there's so many things, and like, I think I said it the other day. Like, we don't know what's going through this kid's head other than 300 Win Mag. So like, there's no way to know.
Which, by the way, that gun is fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, I think there's some controversy that wasn't the one that was actually used.
Really?
It might have been like they said it might have been a SWAT sniper that was using 308. But the Secret Service 300 Win Mag is dope as fuck.
Yeah, which one did you buy to make that video with?
$15,000 gun. It better have been the one.
And which one did you buy first?
It was it was the Accuracy International one,
Yeah,
and then
but-
I texted it to Eli. I was like, "Yeah, I just bought this to make it because I bought it from Euro Optic." And I'm like, "Oh shit, perfect! They've got that one in stock. Awesome." And Eli's like, "Did you mean to buy the left-handed version?"
Oh my god.
The gun alone, not the optic, it's like $11,000. I was like,
And how are you gonna sell that?
I got luckily Euro Optic. Shout out, they have awesome customer service. I was able to get them on the phone super quick, and they swapped out the order.
I was lucky that you didn't realize that when you got it.
That would have been rough.
Like, or he's coming over the gun this way.
Speaking of bunker, obligatory bunker's not going anywhere, right?
True. Yes.
Okay, good.
This is actually an announcement of that closing.
That would be really nice.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't think about that in the first video. That I like didn't address that. Everyone's like, "So is bunker gone too?" And I'm like, "Oh no. Hey, bunker's fine. Everything's fine with bunker."
How many influencers do you guys have now, if I can ask that?
40?
A little over 70.
70.
Shit.
Yeah, it's cranking.
Paving the way for everybody else. The t-shirt company you started in your garage.
Isn't that crazy?
Genius
Yes.
move.
It literally it feels like the new Avengers, where you're like Captain America walking off into the sunset. You give your shield to a black guy, and now you got all these other people that.
Are you giving your shield to Coleon?
And then,
That would be so fucking funny.
Hey, Colin, hit me up.
and then he gets on and says that Captain America doesn't represent America.
That was so fucking stupid.
Have you seen that?
No.
The dude
Anthony
that's
Mac-
playing Captain
Anthony Mackie, I
America
think?
did an interview where he's like, "Yeah, I don't think that Captain America really represents America to me."
There's a lot of
that's Chris
things.
Evans.
No, the guy replacing him, Anthony Mackie.
Oh, okay.
It's like, there's a lot of things I think Captain America can represent, and I don't think America's one of them. I'm like, it's literally one of the two words. So
It's his last name.
Yeah, he's old lady America's son.
America, comma Captain.
John C. America. Come on, dude.
It's those colors. They mean nothing. Everything. The shield. No.
The outfit, not all right. Whatever.
But yeah,
Whatever, homie.
bunker's sticking around.
That's good.
Yeah, no change there. It's gonna keep getting bigger, I think.
What is you were in the YouTube game for 15, 16 years?
I actually looked this up. I started in 2007, which was 18 years ago. But I was just like, I was dinking around on it back
I was in
then.
8th grade, no big deal.
Yeah. I was
in Iraq.
I was a college student. I was in Iraq.
I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Eli, I was getting shot at for free college that I never went to. I did a one-on-one interview with Eli just about me or whatever, and I was like, "Yeah, I have like 2 associate's degrees or whatever." He goes, "I had no idea you had a college education." I was like, "It's an associate's degree. It's not that big of a deal." And he's like, "I didn't even graduate high school. It's a huge deal." And I was like, "You should go back to GED classes, but pull up in your McLaren. That would be fucking hilarious."
I'm just resuming an old save.
My character's maxed out.
Do you imagine, just like Eli pulls up to community college to take entrepreneurship in his McLaren.
A glowing orange legendary item.
Dude, we talked about it for a while, just doing the ASVABs between the group.
That would be
still
fucking
wanna
great.
do that. The
I'm game.
military. What does ASVAB stand for? I don't remember anymore.
Vocational, whatever the fuck.
It's
Yeah.
an IQ test / SAT to figure out what job you take in the military.
Yeah, to get in the military. And so we talked about all of us should take the ASVAB and just see what our scores are at now.
You're gonna be great.
What is it? Is it testing over like stuff you learn in school, or is it just like how you
Yes
feel?
and no.
A mix of stuff.
Yeah, it's like a mix of like an SAT test and like a general IQ test. So like when I took mine, I remember there being like diagrams of like pulleys and levers, and it would be like if we turned pulley A, what would be the outcome of the lever at C or whatever.
It's like
So,
aptitude.
It's
Because
like,
I think there's even questions in there about like, and I've never taken it, but like I've heard like shit like the difference between like Phillips and flathead screwdrivers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like general life shit.
For us, it's easy as shit.
But then a lot of people.
Eli pulls up in his McLaren to take it.
I leave the podcast to go become a part of the Patriot Missile Program.
So 17 or 18 years.
Oh yeah, we got way off that.
I know. I love it.
Yeah, I started just dinking around 18 years ago.
What was your first video?
It's like me, and I had a 95 Corvette, and me and my college buddies would take our cars to the drag strip and just like drive around, or we did some drifting at this little elementary school across the street from my house.
It's really cool that you didn't watch his video where he talks about all this.
Yeah, and so it was like
100%
that was
not.
literally it, just shitty videos.
I'm
we
a
didn't,
terrible
my
friend.
face wasn't on it. I didn't talk. It was just someone filmed my car as I did a drag, and that was it. Those are my videos. They're terrible. Like I was just uploading for my friends to see.
Was your big, like, the thing that blew you up, was it the shotgun shell thing?
It was a bunch of little things. Also, if you would have watched my video, you would know.
Yeah, I don't watch your
Karen
shit.
saw it. Thanks, dude. Also, you guys are wearing the exact same thing right now.
I just backed you up, man. What the
I
fuck?
know, but I just noticed again. Like,
I feel
pearl
like
snap, green shirt.
At least it's not the same brand. We do that
But
occasionally.
then, yeah, it was a
we
bunch-
don't coordinate it.
It was a bunch
This
of
was
little
Saturday.
things. Oh my gosh. How do y'all do that?
Intuition.
Well, like, I feel like, would it be more gay to text you and be like, green shirt today?
The amount of times you've texted me where you're just like, by the way, I'm wearing green. I'm like, that's cool.
Never mind. But no, we had a bunch of little videos that went viral, like, over the years, and so everyone would just knock me up another level, basically.
Because the one that got me on you when it was like, I think it was like 2008, 2009, it was the shotgun shells.
Yeah.
What are some of the other ones, though?
So the one before that was a baby deer playing with my family's dog. We called it Dog versus Deer, and my sister, my
Very
brother,
2007 YouTube
yes,
title.
that's all you had to title things back then. My brother found this baby deer. He took
Not
it-
clickbait, gone sexual.
emotional.
thumbnail.
Yeah. My brother brought this baby deer home. My little sister raised it, bottle fed it, raised it with our family dog. They just played all the time. She recorded it one time, super cute. I was like, let me put that on my YouTube channel. I put it on there. It went viral. It went on Ellen DeGeneres. It went on
Really?
Anderson Cooper. it went on like mainstream TV.
So all the gays loved it.
Yes, which was crazy back then to get on mainstream TV. And so we got, a lot of views from that. And that was the first time I ever made money on YouTube. Like, I was like, this is crazy.
How much money?
Oh, we have the same story then.
That video made me $3,000 total.
Which at that time
it made $700 in one night. Like literally, I was making cents because back then AdSense was like update in the morning. So every time I woke up at 6 o'clock to go to vet school, I would see like how much money I made, and it would say like 13 cents, 16 cents. Like it was always just cents. And then I put that video up, and then one day I wake up and it says $793. And I'm like, what the shit? Like I was like, there's no way. And so anyway, over a few years, I made like $3,000 total. But yeah, I kept making videos, and then a couple years later, I made custom homemade shotgun shells just for fun, and it went viral. And like the big gun YouTube channels at the time, Iraq Veteran and Funker 530, like they reposted it and like shared it, which was crazy to me. And then I had another viral video, and then another viral video, and just like every time I would just bump up a level and get a new wave of subscribers.
And I know and love Eric from IV.
Yeah.
But it's very, very funny for you to be talking about him. Like all the big
Right?
guys.
Yeah.
You of all people.
Yeah,
like the
but
big guys like Eric.
he was so much bigger than me. Like I remember
Yeah.
Funker and Eric and Military Arms Channel and
Those were
Richard Ryan. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
they
God.
were,
Yeah,
they
Richard.
were all
Richard, yeah.
huge, and I was tiny. And it was like I remember the first time 22 Plinkster invited me to Tennessee. That was the first person I ever collabed with. Was 22 Plinkster.
Really?
And I started talking with him, and he was like, "Yeah, come up." And I was like, "Okay." So I took my first YouTube paid trip. Like, they didn't pay for it. I paid for it, but I was like, "I'm paying for a work trip. This is cool." And I went to Tennessee, and he got Hickok to come up too, which Hickok was giant, both in stature and in YouTube views. And
Yeah, he's like a
subscribers.
fucking transformer when you
Huge.
stand next to him.
Yeah, so like I'm
Hickok's
sitting
like
there.
6'5", right?
He's like 7 foot.
No, he's like 6'8", I think. But
Same
he's-
height as you.
Yeah, same as me. His son is inch taller. He's like 6'9", which is what I am.
You can see them on a crowd. Like if you're at a YouTube range
they're
day kind of
huge.
thing, you
Big dudes. But yeah, I'm sitting there eating pizza with 22 Plinkster in his house, and someone just walks in the door, and he hadn't told me that Hickok was coming over. I was like, Hickok is here, and I had like 60,000 subscribers at this time.
who's that bending under the doorway?
Yeah, so that was really cool for me is to see these big guys that later we passed up, but like I remember them all when they were huge, and I just looked up to them.
No shit.
Yeah.
Because I remember when you came on the corridor shoot, you were even excited.
Because Freddie was there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Freddie was one of those channels that I watched a ton. Yeah.
If you're an OG YouTuber like Freddie was,
Yeah, it was so cool to see, Sam and Nico and all those guys that I had watched forever.
Yep.
and they used one frame of your face. They
okay.
had
And I
demo
was in there
the
for
video.
a second.
And
What?
it's like,
I was there all day to get my 4 seconds. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
what
no
was
shit.
this? What was the?
Reloads.
Oh, the
Reload
tactical.
3. Reloaded 3.
Tactical Reload
Yeah.
3, yeah.
This is so funny to me because I'm 2 degrees removed because like they look up to you and like I looked up to them, and Cody was the first one that I ever collabed with on YouTube
Yep.
when he brought me on
Yeah.
Unsub. So it's just
Different era now, you
I'm
know?
watching my dad talk about my grandpa.
That's how it feels to me.
It's a very incestuous community now that I think about
Watching
it.
dad and grandpa reminisce right now. It's very exciting to me.
Ding, 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 ding.
So happy.
I'm on my deathbed right now. And you're the kid coming in, you're just like, Grandpa's weird. I don't want to be here. I want to go play Game Boy.
Die already. Getting a selfie.
Don't worry, I'm going to haunt you on episode
Like-
300.
Well, no, they're telling all these stories I've never heard before, and I'm like, oh, fucking grandpa was way cooler than I thought he was.
Grandpa used to be cool.
Like, my dad's cool to me, but he learned all that shit from grandpa. Awesome.
He's
Right,
looking.
Nick, who convinced you to do long form?
Cody.
Thank you.
God,
And it's the
I think
best
it was-
decision that, like, I
Ever.
think you've ever
Never.
made.
Oh,
Do,
for
do
sure.
you know why you have 45-minute Fat Electrician videos? Fucking
100%.
because it was your first trip down, I think.
No, it was a while later that he really talked me into doing long form. I'll never forget like just how it all started. Just Cody hit me up on Instagrams on DM. Hey, friend. I was like, hey, what's up? And he goes, you want to come on my podcast? Sure. And that was it. And now I'm here. So
Well, 'cause
it's kind of crazy for me.
But I remember having that. We had that conversation over at the wing joint. Fucking, I don't remember where the fuck that like
You guys
when that
bullied
was.
me
But
into doing long form content.
Yeah.
100%.
And then now the main YouTube channel I watch is you.
Yep.
The Fat Files. Like I love your main channel, but Fat Files is so good. Like listening about Costco and like Chick-fil-A and all this shit. It's so good.
Firearms Direct Club.
I didn't think anybody would. Yeah. Also, Pepperbox exclusive. I did a whole video on Firearms Direct Club. Some crazy
Gun
person
Costco.
got involved. Yeah.
And what's crazy is I haven't watched any of those Fat Files. I don't know what my grandson's doing. I don't care.
This is just YouTube generation sitting at this table. This
It is really
awesome,
funny.
dude.
But do you remember the first thing you said when like you were pushing back on the fucking the long form?
No.
I do. Who's gonna watch me that long?
This is true.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, it was weird because like it was like Cody bullying me for like a couple of months about it, like a couple of trips down to Unsub when I was still just a guest. And then that was like in the back of my mind the whole time. And then we went and my wife gave birth to my second son, Cash. And I was like, fuck, I don't have a video planned. Like I don't have my little 3 to 5 minute video with a joke every 4 seconds planned out. And I don't have time to do it because I've just like been helping my wife who just gave birth the entire time. Like,
Gosh, she's so needy.
and I was like, fuck it. I like
So selfish.
she was like, you know, you're there for like a couple of days when your wife gives birth or whatever, like a day or two after, like before and after the fact. And I was like sitting there, and whenever I wasn't like helping, I was like looking up shit on Cassius Clay, the guy that we like named my kid after. And I was learning more. I was like, oh, this guy's dope. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna try a long form video where I go over this guy's whole life and we'll see if it goes. And it was like my best performing video at the time ever.
Brilliant, dude. The Cassius Clay video is awesome, man.
And then I was like, oh, I should do that more.
I would listen to any video you made on any topic. And I think we tested that yesterday. I think I gave you an idea and you were just like, oh, tell me more. I was like, I'll watch the video when you make a fucking 8-hour breakdown of that company.
That's so funny. Like, there's been comments in my YouTube, like, you know, I don't read all the guy. I try to, but there's so goddamn many. But, you know, you always open up Studio and you can see, like, the top 10 most recent comments or whatever. And I've just seen so many videos where like, I could literally watch this guy talk about paint drying for some reason.
Yep.
And I was like, all right, well, I guess.
When are you
doing
gonna,
something right?
When are you gonna do Delta Guy?
Which one?
Fucking nerd, the nerd dude.
Dangerous famous one.
Billy Waugh?
No, famous glasses. Every account.
Oh,
looking.
Mike Vining?
Mike, yeah,
He's
dude.
on the list. He's on the short list.
I wanna
I
see
think that's what I'm
Vining.
gonna like dig into next. After I'm working on a big Billy Waugh video, and then after that it'll probably be him.
Oh yeah.
So Billy Waugh was like OG Delta boy back in the day. He like wanted to be a paratrooper during World War II, but he was like 12, so they wouldn't let him join. So he like joined for the Korean War when he was 17, and like ended up becoming a Delta guy by like sheer chance.
How do you find info on these people?
They're like a lot of them have written books, or there's books written about them, and like there's declassified documents by this point. But like this
He
dude
has
had
forbidden knowledge, which means he has to read.
yeah, it's horrible.
Gross.
But he was operational for 50 plus years.
Jeez.
And like he started in Korea, and his final mission was tracking down Osama bin Laden in the Middle East when he was in his 70s.
Also known as what they knew him at the time was CIA asset Tim Osman.
It's an inside joke.
Yeah, I don't even get it.
You
I'm
are
on
going
the
to get.
outside.
I know it.
We're 3 levels deep into the conspiracies thing. That's not an introductory level conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy when it's objectively true.
This is
50
also
years.
true.
50 or 60. How many years was he? Active?
Over 50 years he was operational, but he was operational into his 70s.
I did 4.
He has an interview in his. He passed away last year, but he has an interview from 2 or 3 years ago where he's well into the twilight of his life, and I forget who did the interview. It was a fairly big person, and he was literally talking about he tracked down Osama bin Laden on several occasions, and on one of them he was in the room with Osama bin Laden, but he didn't have a weapon on him, and he like talks about in detail in his 90s as a 90-year-old man talking about back in the day when he was 70 being like debating with himself on if he was going to try to kill Osama bin Laden with a pencil because it's all he had, and he was heavily considering it.
Kills him with a pencil. The towers fall anyway.
Wow.
Brandon Hussein over here.
Congratulations on your 9 NAMs. So,
I'm just trying to make Nick laugh at this point is all.
This is the same dude that caught the jackal.
Yeah, so he caught the jackal.
And if you don't know, like the jackal was there were movies about him, and then
The jackal is legitimately probably the closest living embodiment to a Bond villain that we've had ever. And
Pure
like
assassin.
I think he was in Egypt, and he just like went down to one of the markets in Egypt, and like, that's the fucking jackal, and like called up his contacts, and then he like scouted and spied on the dude and figured out like, oh, this guy goes to the doctor every week for some injectable medicine that he needs. And they like staged the whole thing where like the doctor's office got cleared out and CIA operatives went in and were the doctors and the nurses, and his medicine that he got injected with knocked him out, and he just woke up on a plane in handcuffs on his way to France.
Really awkward when you just fucking roofie a random Egyptian guy who looks like the jackal.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm a carpenter.
The guy was like in the jackal from 1975 or the 70s was an active assassin doing like high profile missions, which is more insane. Like no one could catch this dude. And then Humbo just ran.
They were looking for him for years, and he just like bumped into him in an Egyptian market.
synchronicity, bud.
Bad for one.
Yeah.
For the other person. Hey! What was your favorite moments in your entire career of YouTube? You have to have a couple of them.
Yeah, I have a bunch. It's fun when videos go viral. Like, I remember when custom homemade shotgun shells took off. Like, that was crazy. That was when, like, the dog vs. deer, I didn't try to make that one take off. That one just, like, surprised me. I was like, what the heck is this? And it was fun, but, like, then I tried Demolition Ranch. I was trying to, like, make gun content, and, like, it took off, and gun channels started sharing it. And that was when I finally, like, broke into the world where it's like gun people that I watch are sharing this video, and that was, like, super cool. But then, yeah, there were other highs along the way, like when Donut and I bent barrels, and like that video was like really neat. It took off. Donut didn't bend them. I bent them, and he just came for the video.
His bare hands.
But there were like little things like that. Like whenever like we first collab with all you guys, like it's always fun like meeting y'all and doing something, and the internet, loves it. They're like, I've been watching both you guys forever, and it's so cool to see y'all come together. And so yeah, there's been a bunch of like highs like that where we make a video that just takes off, and the comments all tell you you're awesome, and it feels so good.
I love the alternative too, where people are like, "Dude, I love your content. You should collab with Demo Ranch." It's like,
yeah, we should do
for
that.
the 9th time.
We should do that sometime.
What was your top
one of these
three,
days?
though?
Trout will meet Cody.
Top 3 favorite moments of the last 15 years.
YouTube related.
YouTube related.
Oh, Burst was cool. That was a cool one.
He's a cool guy. Yeah, he's super fun. I mean,
Monster.
like that is what's cool about YouTube is you get to meet all these people that you've watched on video, and you get to figure out which ones are real and which ones are putting on. Oberst is one of the realest dudes ever. Like that's just who he is. He's just
Who were some of the ones who were putting on? You're retiring. Who gives a fuck?
I'm not gonna say it. Not gonna say it.
I know one. Well,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
hard.
thinking
It's
that.
hard too, dude, because like you've been around and met so many cool ass people. It's hard to nail down just like a certain like 2 or 3.
Yeah. Well, we've gotten to do cool stuff that normal people don't get to do. Getting invited to cool things and getting flown all over the place, and like got to fly on a private jet with guns, which was cool one time. Like that kind of stuff is like so insane to me, and so those are some cool moments where I just felt like, man, this doesn't make any sense. I don't know how I'm making money doing this. And
Imposter
it's fun.
syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. For sure.
100%.
Private jets real quick imposter syndrome.
I feel like I've had that like my whole career. Like I hope no one figures out that I'm actually a normal guy. I have all these subscribers. I hope they don't realize that I'm just a normal guy, and they're all gonna be like, oh, this guy's actually kind of lame. Like,
I think we've all battled with that at some
you
point.
have to, yeah, unless you're a total narcissist, and we're all just a little bit of a narcissist, but varying degrees.
I don't know. It's just like grown up, poor as shit, and then just like suddenly you're hanging out with all the cool people we get to hang out with every day. You're gonna experience a little bit of imposter syndrome.
Even in DC the other day for the inauguration, like I walk into like a party I was invited to, and I get flashbanged. The first people, I'm dead serious, the first humans I see are like Charlie Kirk, the Speaker of the House, like 3 senators, and I'm just like, I am in the wrong room.
Yeah, like how'd I get here?
This makes no fucking sense.
Never felt that before.
Mine was Salt Lake City the first time I went out with you guys for the Zydax event. Where it was like, hey, did you want to go to the club with Chuck Liddell with us? I was like,
Yeah.
It's like the guy from like Chuck Liddell, the guy
The
from
Iceman?
the Egg Science commercials I watched on Spike TV. Yeah, I do actually. Like
That was me last year when Chuck Liddell came to my property. Junior Dos Santos was there. Goldberg was
the
there.
same one because like
Undertaker was there. I was like, these guys are all just standing on my land at this big thing we did. This is insane.
Dude, I went up. I've never walked up at one of those events because I don't want to be lame asking for autographs. And the only time I've asked for like an autograph and a picture from somebody was Undertaker. I walked up and was like, you were on my backpack for like 7 years. It's really cool to see you.
And in person, he's based as hell.
He's cool as fuck.
All those guys are Goldberg. Like Goldberg's like, again,
love Goldberg.
Bill is one of the nicest guys you will ever meet.
Yeah.
But all the same age, kind of like within a decade, and he's been a giant part of probably most of our lives. You're like, fucking Goldberg.
And he's so fucking nice.
Yeah. Call me Bill, please.
Goldberg. Well, it's like being around people like that. Like, what did he do? He played for Georgia, and then he played like professional football, and then he got into doing the wrestling thing.
Then he was on the
Then-
longest
then
yard
movie
with
star.
Nelly.
We make silly YouTube videos. So just being around dudes like that.
And then he
it's
was
like,
Jewish
holy
Santa?
Shit. Yeah, he was Jewish Santa. Well, it's just like being around dudes like that. It's like, holy shit, what did I do right?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that's how we should be, but they're all normal. That's what I've learned too. Is everyone's normal. Everyone is a person. What?
Everyone's normal.
Everyone. Okay, how about not everyone's normal? Everyone is a human being.
Yeah.
No one's
Except for communists.
No one's special. How
Like
about that?
90,
That's what I meant by that.
90% of like the actors, YouTubers, whatever, like they're pretty. Like you get that 10% that you're just like, dude, that guy's a animal. What the fuck?
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
Eli, come on. You gotta have a celebrity you met, and you're like, this person's fucking weird.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like a crazy person.
Because you were in the game long before we were. Because you did the History Channel show, like you did all your stuff before. You ever met anyone?
Arnold was the only one, but super nice dude.
Schwarzenegger?
But, yeah, but meeting him was the weirdest. Like that was
I didn't
the
even
only
know
time.
that ever happened.
Yeah, I didn't know that one either.
Okay.
What? Chase, pull it up. I have photos of that one.
Oh, fuck you.
That was me moving to LA, and within 3 months, like, hey, you're gonna VFX supervise on a commercial. Cool, sounds good. Boom, show up, reading script, and it's for a British company. I'm like, oh, okay, what is it? Okay, there's a fucking lizard of some kind or something. Like, got it. And Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, oh, it's British. They're just going to VFX like Arnold or something like that. And then Arnold rolls up. I was like, walked up to the director. Was like, yo, what? Like, we have actually Arnold. He's like, oh yeah, that is part of this. So you're just gonna be talk to him like blah blah blah. Cool. Did my job the entire day. Got to watch how Hollywood interacted with a dude to that level, and then got to see a completely different level. Like,
You look like my housekeeper.
you mow my yards.
No, it's a little bit more threatening if you know the story of this housekeeper.
But it was like they don't even have they have stand-ins. They have everything, and then a stylist on set for specifically him on that scene to trim his hair proper. I was like,
You got to do blackface for bodybuilders just right.
and then walking up, and I was like, hey man, can I get his security I got along with? They were all soldiers, like previous. So got along with them, and then I was like, hey, can I ask him for a photo at the end of the day? Because that's a big no-no a lot of the times. He's like, oh, yeah, actually, yeah, fucking do it, bro. Went and was like, hey, man. I straight up got nervous on that. Was like, hey, can I have a photo? He's like, yeah, come here, bro. I was like, look what you do with the troops. They snapped it for me and went about my business.
That's cool.
Wild. But normal. I don't know. I got lucky. I got surrounded by a great group of dudes for who I've met, and for the most part, not too many shit bags.
I think mine's Nico for sure. Because like I was off the internet for like 10 years straight, like doing electrical
Ortiz?
shit and call it. Yeah. And like when I first got on TikTok, like Nico was by far and away the biggest military content creator on TikTok. So he was like massive. And then we met him in Salt Lake City and you guys were there. And I was like on edge about it. I was like, I don't think I'm going to like Nico Ortiz. Like, we're not going to get along. He's not going to like me, whatever. And like, I remember the second I fell in love with Nico Ortiz. Cause like, I remember there was a bunch of college frat kids at the pool table and you had already went and set your quarters down to play next. And which is like the international symbol for like, I have next. And they were trying to cut you in line. And Cody was like fairly aggressive. Cody was sitting there stewing.
We were going to get in a fight.
About the potential of these college kids cutting him in line. And Nico was also not stewing, but like he was very alert. And I walked up to Nico. I was like, what's going on? He goes, oh, I think Cody's about to get in a fight. And if that happens, I'm double leg drop kicking that guy first. And I was like, I fucking love Nico.
It was because like in his content, I was like, man, I wasn't sure I was going to get along with him. I was like, man, I don't know. Like, it seems like his personality, like based on his personality online, I'm like, man, I don't know if we're going to vibe. And he's like the nicest human who has ever lived. And I literally, he was one of those guys where I felt embarrassed that I thought I wouldn't like
him.
You prejudged.
Same.
When we invited him on the first charity stream, he killed on the charity stream. He raised the second most, I think. And again, I did not know about the TikTok shit. So I just went off, invited him off of Twitch, which was like 150 live viewership. And then his YouTube was at like 50,000. Text him on IG. Is like, hey man, blah, blah, what you're doing. Here, hit me up. And he's like, well, hey, I don't give my number out. Call this number instead. It's mine. I was like, who the fuck's this dude? He has like 150
so
viewers.
Cool.
And then I got on the phone. We're talking. He's like, so what's your main thing? He's like, TikTok. I was like, oh, what are you on TikTok? He's like, 3 million. I was like, I'm so sorry, bro. I was way off. Now this explains a lot more. Came down, raised the second most amount of money for veterans, and just a good dude. He had a blast. I was like, okay, this is a homie for life.
No, Nico Ortiz is like such a solid fucking guy. And dude, he's crazy on the internet, but like you guys seriously follow him. Nico Ortiz is awesome.
And he'll tell it to you like it is too. Where he's like, he's not worried about your feelings. Where he's just like, oh yeah, I'm like, I was worried I fucked this up. He's like, well, you did. You know, like, he's like, but that's cool. We got it. We're good. We're gonna work past that. He's like, but you did fuck it up.
Well, he called me and Brandon one day, and he's like, you want to go to this bare knuckle fight up in?
No, it was the Jake Paul fight.
Was it the Jake Paul?
I think it was Jake Paul.
Which one? Did you go? I went to one of those.
Yeah, we went. It was the one we saw. Evan
I went to the one
Hafer
in Ohio.
Yeah.
It was in Dallas.
Okay.
I think. I don't remember where it was.
I don't know. Nico's awesome though. He invited us up to this fight,
and it was like good tickets.
I can't remember if it was Nico or Jake that was telling me the story about hanging out with Chuck Liddell in Las Vegas, where like they're like, you don't understand, Chuck Liddell owns Las Vegas. And like, I don't know how much of this I can like say, so I'm gonna censor like the casino name, but he's like, Chuck was driving and we went to behind XYZ casino and he pulled up to shrubs, like a wall of shrubs by the sidewalk, but the sidewalk had a cutout, and he called a phone number and then the fucking shrubs opened. And he's like, and then he drove his car up in, and it's like a cul-de-sac of mansions hidden behind XYZ casino. And we hung out in this house a little bit with some people. I don't know who they are. And then Chuck's like, let's go to this casino. And they walked through. Every security guard knew who he was and just like nodded and opened velvet ropes. And then we went on the roof and a helicopter picked us up and took us to a different casino.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. Maybe we all just got lucky with the people we surround ourselves with. But we do know some cool people that are so down to earth. Like Chuck is one of those guys who's just like, he's probably the chillest legit celebrity I've ever met.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
He doesn't give a fuck, dude.
No, he's awesome.
He's rad.
There's some stories in Key West I can't tell you guys right now.
I can't tell half my Chuck stories, dude. But he's so fucking nice.
The imposter syndrome, when you're just like, I cannot believe this is happening right now.
The majority of our life now.
I'm here for this.
You go into like dial-up mode. You're like, I'm pretty sure I'm hallucinating.
He's the one that kept me out of the fucking fight at that one night. He went up and told the college kids, he's like, this is Cody's table.
Weird they gave up on that one. Weird it was Cody's table after that.
Also, kind of mad. I mean, just gonna throw it out there. If I got in a bar fight with Chuck Liddell, that would be bucket list.
I think
material.
we said that because we were all chatting because this was like an ordeal that happened over the course of 10 minutes. So like we're all just like having side conversations with like, all right, well, we're about to throw down. And you're like, yeah, but we're about to throw down with Chuck Liddell. Like, that's pretty fucking cool, actually.
I'm gonna win.
Chuck walks up to Cody. He's like, Cody, it's your table. Cody's like, they called you gay.
Well, even just like, so like I was very new at the time when we went to Salt Lake City. Like that was my first outing, literally other than coming to Unsub, which at the time was in Batty's dining room or living room or whatever the fuck.
Giant shift.
And like we were at that restaurant and Chuck's like, I got a buddy that owns a nightclub. You guys want to go? I'm like, well, yes. And we go and like this nightclub is packed and then like 8 security guards literally do this and just compact the crowd and cordon off this little area like for us with some couches and like put red velvet ropes up. And I was like, this is wild. And then like people start coming back from the kitchen holding coffee tables. And the coffee tables were covered with like appetizers and booze, like just pre-poured shots and beers and just like setting them by the table. And I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
It's crazy that, Chuck Liddell being somewhere just makes the restaurant owner, the bar owner, like so excited because like Chuck Liddell is there. So everything's free for Chuck because he makes all the other dudes want to come hang out at that bar.
This is wild. You have that level of like Chuck. And I couldn't even imagine Tom Cruise could call.
Oh, yeah.
He could call any restaurant, mom, pop, whatever. He's like, hey, Tom Cruise wants to eat here right now.
And they're like, definitely.
Heading in right.
Also, specifically with Chuck, all of the bouncers know who he is for obvious reasons.
All watch that. So they just think it's cool just to them. Yeah.
When we did the range day after
all
party
the bouncers
at that bar,
want to get in a bar fight with Chuck Liddell also. So like, I'm on
can
Chuck
tell other
Liddell
bros.
and the staff's team. I get home team advantage anywhere I go with Chuck.
which was basically after the range day.
What was one of the craziest SHOT Show experiences? I think all of us had. That's probably our most wild experiences. But
I
were you
walked-
going there and like,
I walked through some casinos with Chuck Liddell. That was weird. Actually, on the floor, SHOT Show, Donald Trump Jr. was there, and I went with him. And so we had all the Secret Service guys around us. It was just me and a couple guys and Donald Trump Jr. And I'm just like, I didn't really know him. I was just following him through. We were all going to the same place. And we walked through a whole SHOT Show to go to Zach Brown's booth. And I was like, this is the weirdest shit ever. Like, I have Secret Service walking around, like they were around me so that I could go with Donald Trump Jr. to Zach Brown's booth. And I was like, what is happening right now? This is so
It feels
weird.
like Mad Libs.
Yeah. This doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, you're adding all those weird things in. We had, Clint was there. We're having this event. Not event. It was like a lock-in at Bunker. We were like, let's all go to the Bunker, just the boys. We're all going to just drink and hang out.
a lock-in like it's church.
We did. It is that. Like, well, I don't know if we were.
It was after the Christmas parade.
Yeah, we weren't that night. We have had lock-ins. We were just like, we just spin that.
Let's
we
all get drunk, read scripture, and
we
make
get drunk,
t-shirts.
we get drunk and bring air mattresses to Bunker, and we just party until it's late. Then we all sleep on the floor and go home.
To the New York Times, the Demolition is a cult.
Yeah, that's true. But this time we had a Christmas parade. We put lights all over my 5-ton. We drove it through the Christmas parade, and then we're like, hey, everyone just come back. We're going to party at Bunker. So we're hanging out at Bunker, and JT texts me, and he's like, hey, Zach Osborne wants your number or something. And I'm like, cool. Jack Osborne wants your number. So I'm like, cool. And so I start talking to Jack Osborne. He's like, hey, it's my dad, Ozzy Osbourne's birthday, and I thought it'd be cool if you would say happy birthday. And I was like, oh my God, like, Ozzy Osbourne needs a birthday congratulations from me. And so we're like, well, let's do this big. And I have the 5-ton, we're at the Bunker, and I was like, Clint, what do we have here that we could smash? And Clint's like, well, we got a couple pallets of like water. And I was like, pile it up, let's go. And so we're in the parking lot, and I like boosted launched this giant 20,000-pound truck through this giant pile of water bottles, and it goes everywhere. And I'm like, happy birthday, Ozzy, love you, man. And we send that off. And then like 10 minutes later, Ozzy Osbourne sends us a video message back. And it was like, Demolition Ranch, I love your show, la 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 la. Like,
I thought it was going to be, how did you get this number?
but he sends us this video, and he says, He goes, thank you. He's a little old and a little spacey, but he's like, thank you for the birthday, congratulations. And he's like, I love your show, Demolition. And like me and Clint and all of the Bunker Bros are there, and we're just like, yeah! It was like the coolest thing ever. And then we just partied hard the rest of the night. It was
Crazy Train on 11.
Yeah, just blasting Black Sabbath.
I
all
didn't
night
know
long.
this at all.
It was so cool, and like it looked like I was like the best thing that ever happened. We just partied so hard the rest of the night. It's like that kind of stuff is all I needed to just feel like on top of the world. Like that's all I listened to in high school. You know, it was like Black Sabbath. Let's go.
That's fucking
It was
wild.
so cool. I still got it. I'm gonna show my grandkids that video someday.
What are we doing,
Who's
guys?
that? Is
Did
that
you ever post
Beethoven?
it?
No, I never posted it. I've never talked about it online.
That's kind of
Holy
cool.
That one was for me.
That's kind
Okay,
of cool.
I was like,
But now that I'm quitting, everyone can have it.
Jake, pull it up.
Yeah, no, that was one that was like just a personal one that I thought was so cool.
That's awesome.
that's
I didn't even know
fucking
about
rad.
that.
No, I've literally never showed anybody.
How was that? Like seeing that?
It was crazy. We still say happy birthday, congratulations.
That's,
Yeah.
that's why we laughed so hard when he
Thanks
said
for
it.
the happy birthday, congratulations. Demolition.
Demolition, I love your show. It's my kind of show.
It was crazy. And yeah, like being in this world, you realize like how like y'all can't go anywhere without being recognized, right? And in the grand scheme of like fame, you're not that famous, right? Like it's still just a small YouTube thing. But then freaking the guy who invented heavy metal music, the
Prince of Darkness.
the Prince of
You?
Darkness,
The
is
bat biter?
pumped That Matt ran over a pallet full of water. Like that's a cool freaking experience. Like
I'll send it to y'all. It was fun.
That's fucking
the closer you get to the
wild.
top, the smaller the world gets, and it's really creepy.
yeah.
That's wild. That is the first. I'm like,
But imagine how guys like Brad Pitt feel.
Oh yeah.
Like, can he ever go to Olive Garden?
can
I was-
he go anywhere?
I was telling someone out this week. I actually used Brad Pitt because he's like he's one of the most popular dudes ever. I was like, yeah, like I get noticed a lot. You guys get noticed a lot when you're out in the real world. Can you imagine what a top tier A-list celeb gets noticed? But then I was like, what if you're Shaquille O'Neal? You're a top tier guy, but also you just look different. You're giant. Like you're gonna get
Yeah.
noticed anyway because like who's that 7-foot person over there? And you're like, oh, it's freaking Shaq. He's worldwide renowned and he just looks different than the average person. Like that guy can never go anywhere.
Yeah.
You can't have a normal night where
He
you just
didn't
go
go
on
to
a
that
date.
fucking gun buyback.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, his own gun buyback, right?
We all went to Dallas because it was like Shaq's gun buyback. We're just like, where the fuck's Shaq?
It's nice and warm, not rainy and cold the entire time.
I know we're just getting pissed on the whole time. It's cold as shit.
That was a core memory though. I enjoyed that with you boys.
That was
Would have
fun.
been better with Shaq, but
Would have been better if you hear Eli's just like, where's my giant black man?
Sounds like an Eli thing.
Dude, if you guys didn't see that video, that was a fun one. It's on Brandon's channel.
did y'all do 2 of those buybacks?
We did one in San Antonio because we're crashing gun buybacks, trying to like buy guns from people. And then like the first one went really good in San Antonio, and then we went to Dallas to do another one because the video did so fucking well.
Yeah.
And it was the one that Shaq sponsored, and we were all just like, Dallas. And then we went, and it was just like 30 degrees and pouring rain, like misting
yes,
rain.
And the
It's
cops
all of-
kick y'all out pretty quick too, right? Like, y'all can't stay
so
there.
it's
very
all of
long.
us just walking around, just freezing our asses off, trying to buy guns. It made for some good stories. We didn't buy. I don't think we bought that
No,
one.
but we did get to talk to a bunch of people who did, and like got some good prices on shit. Like you're
So
talking
there
about,
were, the most crazy part was the pre-86. There was one Uzi, right?
that was in San Antonio.
San Antonio one was
Yeah.
the
the
crazy.
Uzi.
A transferable Uzi, new in the box, still in the styrofoam.
Yep,
They were giving it away at a gun buyback.
A machine gun.
And it was
for $100 in
Did they sell it?
Was it? It was an old lady, right?
Yeah, it
She was like, "This is in my husband's closet
But she actually sold.
for like $100
for $100."
to the police.
Can,
it
they,
was
can they take a transferable machine gun?
because the
without
police
paperwork.
They can
the
take
police
anything
run
they
it,
want.
So
Crazy.
yeah.
legally, I don't need. I actually
What's
don't
that?
even know.
$30,000.
Minimum on a good day.
I have
Yeah.
one.
New in box
20-ish?
I have
Uzi.
one that I bought 7 years ago, and I paid $15 for it. But it's a junky one. It's not like a name brand one. So
We
I don't
shot
know.
that in Dallas when we flew.
Yeah, yeah. You were there.
With
you
the
were there.
helicopter.
Oh yeah, shit. The Triarch.
Yeah,
You guys
Triarch,
did
yeah.
a drive-by with a plane?
Yes. Remember, because it didn't run very well.
No,
Still
I just
doesn't.
remember outside the gas station with the propane tanks.
Yeah, we all smoking.
Oh gosh,
That sounds like we had. Sounds like we had a full
We're
on
talking about
Uzi.
the helicopter event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon, you were there or not there for the
I was
propane?
there. I wasn't there for the propane. I was there for the.
Who was smoking
it was
on
like
top of
our
the
first time
propane
hanging
tank?
out.
Who was?
Alex Zedra, Leon Lush.
It was
Lush?
I think it was Leon.
It was probably Leon.
Yeah, because we're all.
Do you know this?
This
Nick?
is the first time I hung out
But
with
trust
Brandon.
me, Leon Lush would be smoking on top of a
It was-
propane.
This was the first ever time
I think it's
hanging
the first
out
time
with
we
Brandon.
really like met Matt.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a Triarch helicopter shooting event.
Do they still make guns?
I rode up with you.
I don't know. Is this still
We
around?
rode up together.
We did.
Remember?
I don't remember, obviously.
But
Oh no, that's right. Yes.
I was like, oh, you're back this because I was on the way and I drove to your house. I was like, man, I should have not drove to your house because it was on the way. I went the opposite way.
That
and
was
then
probably
rode
the
back.
first time we really hung out a ton, and
Yeah.
I bet I was like, oh, it's gonna suck being in the car with this guy for so long. But you're obviously very easy to talk to.
I was very
Holy shit.
starstruck that one because I think it was one of our first times like
Yeah,
really hanging
crazy.
out. I had never met you before, and like I'm like Eli's older, has been in the industry for like longer than I have, so I'm just like I don't know what I'm doing here.
That's
but
a perfect example of something that we got to do just because we're YouTubers. We got to just for free get in helicopters and shoot guns out of them. Like I'd never done that before. That was crazy.
Oh, that was the first time you talked about snapping puppies' necks.
Did I do that?
what?
No, no, that was the first time. That's where the joke comes from, where you said, "I've killed so many puppies."
Yeah, at a Denny's or something. I remember
That's probably
that.
true. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the note he's going to go out on.
Giddy up.
But yeah, we're
Holy shit,
we're
I
all
forgot
staying
about
at
that.
like a hotel next to this gas station, and we go up to the gas station, and I can't remember who it was smoking
It was
next
Leon.
to the propane tank. Was it Leon?
100% Leon.
He was like smoking cigarettes next to the propane tank, and we're like, wouldn't it be funny if that blew up and we all just died? And what they find?
I
was
took us
the-
a little bit to realize what he was ashing in, and then when it clicked, we're like, huh.
Yeah.
He's
Someone was
ashing
like,
in a propane tank.
Dude,
It was the
Cage.
the little cage that they have next to the.
Oh god.
yeah. Someone was just like, that's propane, and we're all like, eesh.
And it's also
Yeah.
like 11, 12 at night, and we're
in the
smoking
dark.
And he's-
cigarettes behind a 7-Eleven.
we're in the dark. There's no lights.
Ashing cigarettes.
He was wearing the baby mask. Remember?
Yep, I forgot
For
about
some
that.
reason, they had these like life-size baby masks in the.
I don't remember that at
in
all.
in the gas station.
Eyes wide shut shit is this?
So we're like, if this blew up, they're gonna find a fucking baby mask on a grown man. That was a wild time.
Holy
And none
shit.
of us had pants on. It was crazy.
Yeah, dude. We were just dicks out.
That
It
was the
awesome.
that was the same trip that we missed our flight because I did like an impromptu fan meetup that night in Fort Worth, and me and Delance had to. I was so broke at the time, I literally couldn't afford to change my flight. I just it fucked up. So we like the only thing that my debit card could physically run was the deposit for a rental car, and so me and Delance drove 20 goddamn hours
You
home.
serious?
Yeah.
Because we could only afford one day. Between us, we could afford a one-day rental and just enough gas between our two cards.
Yeah.
We could just cannonball run.
We cannonball runned it because the card would decline the next day. There was not enough money for a second day.
There was a
So-
lot of, just for people, it is taking those risks where like, fuck, I gotta, because in your head, it's like options.
I'm grinding.
That was 18.
That was 6 years ago, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, fuck. 6 years ago, I was too broke for a plane ticket.
God, I forgot about it.
When I was grinding, I wanted to buy an FN FS2000. I thought that is a cool gun. I want one of those. I think it'll do good on YouTube. It was $1,600. I found a guy in Austin. I was currently in College Station. It's like a 2-hour drive. So I was like, I'm going to drive over there and buy this gun. I talked the guy down to $1,600. And as I was driving, I had an old pickup at the time. And I was like, if this truck breaks down, like I was going to spend all of my money on this FS2000. And I was like, if this truck breaks down, like I can't buy the FS2000 anymore. Demolition Ranch could have been over before it ever started if that truck would have broke down on the way. Because I would have been like, now I got to get a tow truck. There goes $1,000. And I'm going to just head back home and not have a gun. And I would have no gun to start the channel with and start making videos with.
That's a terrifying part. Like every other, have you had any of that?
I'd have to think about it. Not off the top of my head.
He's been rich forever. Silver spoon kid.
No.
Living the dream life. Rich Nick, as we call him.
Look, I came into this a little bit different. Like I had like mine started when I had already had one kid. So like I had a kid, he was like 4 months old, and then I tore my pec and was off work, and I couldn't be an electrician. So I was like delivering DoorDash in a sling, trying to make money. And
Can you
then
imagine if years before you remember, that guy brought me some food one time.
That guy brought me my groceries.
You were still on a ring cam.
Nightmare
100%.
blood rotation. You get your fucking DoorDash and you open the door like, today we're gonna talk about.
Today you're microdosing Wikipedia. No, so like I did that. So like I was very like I worked way longer than I probably could have as a full-time electrician, like running jobs, and then it finally like came to a head when me and my boss, who I'm still like great friends with, I stop by and bullshit with him all the time, but he like pulled me in his office. He's like, "You got to work this weekend." I was like, "I can't. I got to make YouTube videos." And he's like, "You're gonna have to decide if you want to be a YouTube guy or an electrician guy." And I was like,
He's so frustrated.
"If you're going to put me in that ultimatum, I have to go with whichever one pays me more." And he was like so confident. He's like, "I'm going to assume that would be me." And I go, "You'd be wrong." And he goes, "I guess I'll see you on Monday." And I go, "All right, sounds good." And then I worked for like 6 more months.
So first thing I asked you, Nick, what you do?
Yeah, Cody picks
That
me up
was
from the
fucking
airport.
retarded.
My first Unsub episode
Forgot
ever.
about that.
I had
Clint did
no
that.
idea. I was just like trying to text you guys like, I just landed at the airport. What do? I don't even have an address to Uber to or anything. And Cody was the first person to text me back. Picks me up in his Raptor like 20 minutes later after I've been standing out front of the airport. I hop in, no idea who Cody is. I hadn't watched your content yet. It was just like my fans berated me in the comment section. You need to go on the Unsub podcast.
Was I even on that episode?
He probably just thought
No,
you worked
no,
for
I don't think
Unsub.
I did. Yeah.
because you weren't a host yet. Yeah, it was the OG Unsub hosts and me. And
I was only on a third of the episodes back then.
33% on the dot. I think.
Cody picks me up in his Raptor, and there's just that awkward 15 seconds that feels like forever. And Cody's like, "So, what do you do?" And I was like, "I'm an electrician." He goes, "Fuck, I'm retarded."
Yeah, Clint asked you that, right?
Yeah,
wait,
first tour of the bunker. It's like, so what'd you do before YouTube? He just looked at me and went, I was an electrician.
Jenna did something similar. We're talking about. I was talking with Jenna about Kentucky ballistics, and she goes, "Where's he from?"
Like, as soon as I said, I was like, I'm so stupid.
So many people have done that before. They're just like, "Oh yeah, Kentucky ballistics. He's in Texas, right?" Like, sometimes
Maybe.
I'll give you a hint where he really lives.
Dude, Matt, thank you so much for everything you've done for the entire community. It's been an amazing episode. You don't even have to plug yourself this time, which is fucking weird.
Unsubscribe, bitches.
To celebrate,
I don't care.
What are we doing?
we have you a shot of
my
Fireball.
God.
We have to do one too.
Yeah, where are y'all shots of Fireball?
I don't know. I think this is leftover from Ned, Jenna, and Clint.
What do you want to shoot, Matt?
Excuse me,
I'll
Clint
do
and
one
Vanessa.
with you.
I don't. I want to drive home today.
Oh, okay.
I'll buy you the Uber. You're fine.
See?
Then I have to come back and get my truck.
For the
Oh, you
300
can drive it.
I'll buy you the second Uber.
I was like,
Yeah, that's true. All right.
do we want to do a shot?
I
Everyone?
feel like we have to.
I feel like we have to. It's episode 200.
That's true. Man, that's great. And Eli said, I think off camera, that I was on episode 100.
And you'll be on episode 300.
Lord willing. I won't.
We just do the expensive shit. Show this is what you
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Pendleton?
Oh, this is good shit.
Oh, it's Middleton.
It's pretty good.
We're shooting
Probably shooting something that shouldn't be shot, but whatever.
very rare on the bottle.
That is not enough.
A leprechaun made that.
We also have
damn.
Devil's Brandy on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Shell, like, to what degree do you guys believe in leprechauns over there?
What do you mean? They're real.
Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Eli, those are fucking double
are-
man pours.
Are they? Those
Yeah.
are baby shots.
Well, we got
Those
four.
are not
You have to
fucking
pour
babies.
four, not
Divide
three.
it up, Eli. Come on.
What?
Wait, why are you doing 4, not 5?
Oh, you're doing
There's
Fireball,
5.
aren't you?
Oh, no, I'm going to do that.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I don't want fucking Fireball.
Yeah, I want to be cool like all the boys.
Your obsession with Fireball has always been entertaining to me.
Fireball's good, dude.
Oh, fuck
Where
you,
did
dude.
that start?
You
Hey.
definitely were an Aggie.
Hey, Fireball, hit me up and sponsor me. Oh, wait, I'm quitting. Don't do it.
Offer him
Sponsor us.
$10 million.
Sponsor the Sanders.
I know all day I've wanted to be like, what's your next move? Oh wait.
What do you got? What do you got cooking on the channel?
My family.
That close? That's close. Just hand them out. Boom. 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 Boom.
Man, it's been a good ride, boys. I'm glad you're all part of it.
End of an era, buddy.
This is weird.
Right?
So weird.
This is a weird ass feeling. Like, for real, it's a weird ass feeling.
I feel like you're dying, but you still live 20 minutes down the road.
Yeah. It's crazy. I feel kind of like that too.
Dude, thank you so much for everything you've given YouTube community, us, like we've been in each one of us has been in a video. So thank you so much for that. Exposing us to your community and vice versa. You've just been
What you've done for the community.
Yeah,
period.
dude, a true pleasure to work with everything you've done. Like from the bottom of all our hearts, thank you so goddamn much.
Eli said community.
Fuck. Well,
Yeah.
it genuinely though, it's been a privilege to know you.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Thanks, boys. That was like the Titanic thing with the musicians, you know?
That was
Gentlemen,
really smooth. Holy
It's been
shit.
a privilege
Really
playing
was.
with you tonight.
Thank you so much.
We'll go down with the
I
ship.
love we say shit like that. Seriously, we'll still hang out.
I still want to hang out.
Something tells me you've got a lot more free time coming up.
We live 20 minutes from each other. We're like, we'll never see you again.
The camera pans dark and a gunshot goes off.
I don't know, dude. End of an era, man.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Pretty weird. I'm excited to see what you guys do, though. Tear it up, boys. Tear it up.
All right, we'll leave it to the next generation.
Yeah. This guy? A grandson?
I'm trying.
Cody, close
I'm
this out.
sad. That's
I know, it's not. That's like the hardest thing. I'm like, this is an actual hard one. This is a
I don't
weird
want to
feeling.
end it.
This is the saddest I've been on fucking the podcast. I was like, oh, this sucks.
Thank you guys for joining the Unsubscribed podcast. I was joined today by Eli Doubletap, Nick Fat Electrician, Demolition Ranch, Brandon Herrera, myself, Donut Operator. Thank you so much for being here.
Wait.
Oh no.
I thought we were about to wrestle.
I know. I was like, what's going on?
Oh no.
What are we doing with the gauntlet?
We've assembled the infinity slurs. Go ahead and close this out the right way. We've assembled.
We have to collect them all?
No, you got to don it. We've collected them for you. You get to don it and do the snap to end out your career.
Oh, how do you get your hand in this?
Only me and Brandon disappear.
It won't go on.
You put it on and then say the N word.
Oh no, I'll get you the Burger King crown too.
Who's on the plane?
As they say, do not go quietly into the good night.
Yeah, I might as well create some drama before I leave, right? Let's get on the news again.
And just say your favorite letter really loudly with like 7 periods after it and we'll close it out.
I love you all.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.